Advice we give is the best you will ever hear. They call it expert advice. Between myself, voting royalty, Lake Level Ginger, and Brother Strick, you hear only intelligent talk. Join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer, the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, brought to you by DallasBoatsForSale.com.
It's their birthday, but they've got something for you. Hi, Mark Davis from my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas, celebrating 16 years of saving lives. Why not yours? Early detection is the key, right? That's why I'm in there. I got a family history situation, heart disease, cancer. I'm in there every year, and you should be as well. And they've got wonderful 16th anniversary prices. It's their birthday, but they $5.95. $5 cost when they open their doors in 2001. It's thousands at local hospitals, so do check it out. Viascan of Las Colinas, 972-739-2840. 972-739-2840. The heart scan looks for heart plaques and blockages. The body scan looks for early signs of cancer. Let's beat these diseases down and live a long, happy life. Viascan of Las Colinas, $5.95 for both scans. Always safe, never claustrophobic. You love it. I love them. 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan.
The crazy stuff happening in Washington means really smart people, I mean the best people, get a chance for the moment to refi their mortgage or pull cash out of their homes until the president can put a lid on things.
Be one of those really smart people by getting Cash Call Mortgage's 10-year fixed, no closing cost refi at today's super low 2.875% rate and APR. But you need to act now, even if you're in process with another lender. Take 5 minutes to call and grab this 2.875% 10-year fixed rate with no closing costs from Cash Call Mortgage. Make the cash call at 855-875-CASH or log on to cashcallmortgage.com.
And believe me, this is not fake news.
First Mortgages, Impact Mortgage Corp., DBA Cash Call Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender. Call 866-900-8744 for disclosures, terms, and restrictions. Not licensed in all states. Not available in Washington State. NMLS 128231.
That's 855-875-CASH. 855-875-CASH.
Warning, if you've recently declared bankruptcy, you're going to want to cover your ears, because there's an alternative to bankruptcy, and it could be better than you'd ever think possible. But if you've already declared bankruptcy and have missed this opportunity, you'll want to cover your ears now. Here it is. Right now, the company that has resolved more credit card debt than anyone in the U.S. may be able to settle your debt too. You could resolve your debt with one low monthly program payment. If you call right now and qualify, Freedom Debt Relief will show you how low your monthly program payment could be for free. Call now, 1-800-600-7115. That's 1-800-600-7115. If you're struggling with debt, this could be your answer. And the bigger your debt, the more money you could save. To find out for free how much of your hard-earned money Freedom Debt Relief could help you save, call now, 1-800-600-7115. 1-800-600-7115. 1-800-600-7115.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders here to announce that KFC's new spicy, crispy Zinger Chicken Sandwich is now available on a $5 fill-up for a limited time. Why? Because who wants to spend $7 on a meal at a burger place when you could spend $5 on a hand-breaded Zinger Chicken Sandwich, wages, a cookie, and a drink at KFC? I mean, we specialize in chicken. You need another reason? I didn't think so. Try the Zinger and a $5 fill-up at KFC today. KFC, it's finger-licking good. Limited time offer at participating KFCs. Tax extra.
For the last decade, it's been called the greatest libertarian show on earth. This year will be no different. Attended by the most brilliant conservative minds today, join us for Freedom Fest, July 19th through the 22nd at the Paris Resort in Las Vegas. This year, come hear the likes of Greg Gutfeld from Fox News, actor William Shatner, and SRN's very own Larry Elder and Michael Medved. Register now at freedomfest.com and save $100 by using the code REASON100 at freedomfest.com.
660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Oh! You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Would you like a free copy of a book by Dr. Meg Meeker? Dr. Meg Meeker has written Hero, Being the Strong Father Your Children Need, and you can win it for free. Here, quickly, go to 660 AM The Answer and click on the Red Great banner on the homepage, and that will get you an opportunity to sign up for the Wells Report Book of the Month Club. 866-660-5759. Otto Warmbier, 22 years old, an American who got caught stealing a propaganda poster in North Korea. 15 years of hard labor, came back with half a brain, the rest withered and dead because of some form of cardiac arrest. What did he do? What was done to him? He's gone. John McCain made it plain. He said North Korea murdered Otto Warmbier. Yeah, he did. Yeah, they did. That's exactly what happened. So what do we do about it? Donald Trump had the cold reserve of a man who was very, very angry and very, very powerful today. He said it was a brutal regime. And then he said the U.S. will be able to handle it. What should we do? 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Do we take out Kim Jong-un? Jeff in Dallas, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Yes, sir. We definitely take him out, but it's going to be a lot harder than what anybody has really said it would be. These people are going through many, many generations of brainwashing. They don't know what's going on. Few of them do. A few of them have access to the outside world, but the vast majority of them don't. So you got to think, what do we do with them? Do we just take him out and let the cards fall where they, or do we hand everybody over to China and let China, which has been proven to have their own issues, rehabilitate these people? Or do we just go in and clean up and do our best and let it end up the way it ends up?
Here's my problem. I think America has done enough traveling around the world, destabilizing countries and then leaving. I believe that if China is not a willing partner in this, then our options are limited. If we take Kim Jong-un out, who fills in for him? Who takes his place? Could it possibly be someone worse? I don't think so. But that is still something that needs to preclude whatever idea we might have about regime change in North Korea. Again, it's got to be where the Chinese say, yeah, okay, we can deal with that. Daniel in Dallas, what do you think?
Well, my emotional response is go to war, because it would last a couple of days, but I feel like, but my rational human self says there's got to be a different way instead of bringing a whole entire nation to war. But it's kind of like that dog with a bone thing, because they've been doing things over and over and over the last however many years. We have to put a stop to it.
Yes, we do. There are two other Americans, as far as I know, and I would think that if I was Donald Trump, I would get my ducks in a row. And I would then post a very plain, terse memo to Mr. Kim Jong-un. Send us our countrymen. Now, this is the Wells Report.
Attention contact lens wearers. Hey, it's Mark Davis and my friends at Climate Evangelist Eye Center. Why are you doing the contact lens thing? Because it's better in glasses? Well, it could be. Well, here's something better in glasses and contacts. LASIK procedures from Climate Evangelist Eye Center. Ditch the glasses and the contacts and be free to see right in time for summer. BeFreeToSee.com. Check it out. Huge promotion. Big savings on LASIK as low as $3 a day. What's that? A cup of coffee? And they're going to throw in a free adventure as part of your Be Free to See summer LASIK package. Water park, zoo, laser tag, trampoline park. Pick it. You're going to love it. You're going to love your summer. You're going to love the rest of your life with Climate Evangelist Eye Center. 1-800-714-2020. 1-800-714-2020. Incredible team, great technology, great people. Have a great summer and a great rest of your life. Ditch the glasses and the contacts. 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020, or BeFreeToSee.com. BeFreeToSee.com.
Kyle is a professional dog trainer.
Sit down. Roll over. Good.
When it comes to canine obedience, he's your best friend's best friend.
Oh, such a good girl.
And in his personal time, Kyle's a personal trainer.
Nice work on those planks, guys. Now roll over and give me 25 push-ups. 1, 2. Good. Hey, keep that caboose down.
You see, no matter who or what he trains, Kyle knows how to get results. But when it comes to mortgages, he's less confident.
Guilty as charged.
Fortunately for Kyle, there's Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. It's simple, so he can understand the details and know he's getting the right mortgage.
I like it, people. Who wants a treat?
Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. Go to rocketmortgage.com today.
Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. In the last 2 months, we've saved our customers over $500,000. How'd we do it? With our exclusive partnership with your utility provider, we get to offer instant rebates of up to $1,500 when you replace that worn-out AC system. When you combine that with Carrier's Cool Cash savings of up to $3,500, we're talking saving over $5,000 on a brand new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. Now that's how you save people money without gimmicks. But you'll have to hurry because the utility funds can run out at any time. So we're scheduling our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. So call 2 other companies first, get their price, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning. And you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Call 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Have you still not refinanced your mortgage? Well, soon you may be kicking yourself in the head. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial, and interest rates have gone up recently and will continue to rise, but they're still at historical lows. So don't delay. Let us lower your monthly payment, consolidate a first and second, pay off other debt, or drop you into a 15-year loan with no closing costs. That's right. Nothing's rolled into your loan. We'll pay for your appraisal, title, underwriting, settlement fee, everything. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Whether it's a purchase or refinance, you'll pay no closing costs. You won't spend a dime. Think about it. All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to find out how we can save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. And by the way, Westland Financial now is proud to offer reverse mortgages for our clients over 62. So call us at 888-455-3669. The only way you can lose money is not to call Westland Financial. That's 888-455-3669. 888-455-3669.
Westland Financial Corp is located at 200 East Sandpoint Avenue, Suite 800, Santa Ana, California, 92707. Licensed by the Texas Department of Savings and Mortgage Lending as an SML mortgage banker. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. The President of the United States said the U.S. will be able to handle it. I really liked what he said. You know how I feel. You know how I feel. I feel that whoever it is that is running a small country, when an American citizen is murdered in that small country, the president of that country should quite literally wet their pants. That's the way I feel. That's the way it was. That's the way it was in the Roman Empire. If someone wore the red robe of a Roman citizen and they were put to death by some strange occurrence, murder, etc., the province suffered mightily for a very long time. It seems to me that it should be in everyone's best interest in the entire world to look after American citizens, not look out for them, so that you can use them as some sort of political tool or some kind of way of enriching yourself, but to make sure that nothing bad happens to them while they're around. Walk bear big stick. Betty in Arlington, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hey, JD. I don't understand why people go to that country as tourists.
I don't know why either. I think they're probably just, I think they're probably, well, I think they're, I don't know. It's like a moth to the flame, I suppose.
Well, it's like getting into a den with a snake. I mean, there's just no, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I think the people that are running these tours, I'm glad that they've said that they're not taking more Americans. They shouldn't be taking anybody over there, period. But my point that I wanted to make was we're in a predicament here because this guy, this madman, has got 2 satellites orbiting over us, over our country, that are loaded with advanced EMP weapons. And all he has to do is hit a switch and boom, the lights go out.
Well, it's not quite that simple. They still have to have the vehicle to get it there to where it would be something that could happen. It'd have to be at extreme high altitude over the central of the United States. They don't have that technology yet.
No, they do, JD. They have orbits. They have satellites, low orbiting satellites that they've already practiced this.
Yeah. Hey, listen, hang on just a quick second. Don't go anywhere. It looks like we've got a victory speech by Karen Handel. Let's see what we can do about finding it, about hearing what she has to say. This is Karen Handel, just won the Georgia special election for the Georgia 6th.
Day one, including my very good friend Bob Ott, Joanne Burrow, Terry Knoll, Joe Gebbia and Bates Madison, Joe Lockwood, my hometown mayor Jerry Wood. And I need to thank, on April 18th, I said to everyone that this was going to be a very, very tight race. It was going to be contentious, and it was going to require all hands on deck. And that's exactly what we had. From all of the others who were the GOP competitors in the primary, including several who are here tonight. I see Bob Gray. Thank you for your help. Every single member of the Republican Georgia congressional delegation, our constitutional officers, the legislators, Governor Nathan Deal and First Lady Sandra Deal, Senator Perdue, Senator Isaacson, and my very close friend, Senator Saxby Chambliss. I need to also thank Speaker Ryan and House leadership and so many of the members across this country who also united to help us hold the 6th. And a special thanks to the President of the United States of America. really great Vice President, Mike Pence. And I think it's appropriate to take a minute to acknowledge a new friend that I was able to make over the course of this campaign, and that was Majority Whip Steve Scalise.
This is the victory speech by Karen Handel, the new congressman from the 6th District of Georgia.
Right up until that tragic day on the ball field, Steve would drop me a text message every single week just to make sure I was doing okay and hanging tough. I think he even called me the Terminator in one of them. Wasn't sure about that one, Steve, but hasta la vista. Let me just tell you. But really and truly, what happened on that ball field was a terrible tragedy. And we need to all continue to lift up Steve and the others who were injured that day. And we need to also lift up this nation so that we can find a more civil way to deal with our disagreements. Because in these United States of America, no one should ever feel their life threatened over their political beliefs and positions. And I say that, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to both sides of the political aisle.
That is Karen Handel, the new congressman from the Georgia 6th District. She defeated her opponent, John Ossoff, tonight, 53% of the votes to 47%. She won with some 127,221 votes to John Ossoff's 114,390 votes. So there you go. Let me get back to Betty in Arlington. We were discussing Otto Warmbier, the student from the University of Virginia who came back all but dead from North Korea after 18 months of imprisonment. And what do we do now? Where do we go? What do we do? And how do we handle this mess? And Betty, you were making a point, and I want you to do it again, please.
Well, they already have these satellites in orbit, JD, and they're already armed with this advanced EMP weaponry that they got from the Russians.
Well, actually, no, they don't. They don't have nuclear. An EMP weapon is a nuclear weapon. It's a nuclear warhead. Okay, they don't have one in orbit. No one does. I have.
Okay. All right, then.
You don't have to worry about that. That's not happening. Besides, if they did have that capability, they would be able to land one of those warheads in the continental United States.
Well, they don't have to land it; they just have to blow it up over our skies.
Well, considering their rhetoric, they have said they've actually shown in some of their propaganda films, San Francisco ablaze in a nuclear fire. The one thing about an EMP weapon is that it's only an EMP weapon if you don't have it obliterating an entire city, which is what it would do. And if you're North Korea, I mean, what would you do? I think you'd probably want to take out an American city if that was your point of view. But don't worry about that stuff, Betty. I keep my eyes on that all the time. Believe me, if somebody had an orbiting nuclear warhead, you'd already know about it. 866-66, anybody. I'm not talking about just North Korea. I'm talking about anybody. 866-660-5759. Greg in Royce City, what would you like to see the president do with one Kim Jong-un regarding the death of Otto Warmbier?
Well, JD, it's a tough call. The president's got, a huge responsibility. The real problem lies in the fact that the city of Seoul is within artillery range of the Korean, the North Korea southern border. They can line up artillery down there and shell the city of Seoul. Now, Seoul has 10 million people, but that metropolitan area has half the population of South Korea. Now,
yeah, you're correct on that.
Now, strategically, if you don't want to do a military strike, you know, they've been milking us for aid and food for decades, you know. And what we need to do probably to really get this, and there's going to be folks that aren't going to think this is very humanitarian, but then again, you know, how do you really deal with it? But my suggestion would be an embargo and cut all food aid. And when they get hungry enough, they'll come to the bargaining table.
Yeah, you know, the problem, I would see that would be more effective if they hadn't been starving their people for years anyway. You know, they make quite a delicacy out of grass clippings. I'm sick at the end of Otto Warmbier's death, at the end of his life. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, meaning I'm sick because of it. You know, this is a guy who was just out trying to figure out something about his place in space, the country's place in the hierarchy of things, where North Korea was. Why he would go there, I don't know. Why he would attempt to take something home that wasn't his, I don't know. Do I want America to act? Of course I do. Of course I do. But I'm not sure that this is the impetus. Could be. In another age, it would be. You know, I keep thinking back to that deal that they made in the Clinton administration over North Korea's nuclear weapons. If they had just said, turn your nuclear weapons over to China or we will obliterate you, and they had turned their nuclear weapons over, which they likely would have done, because China would say, I don't know that North Korea is worth a world war with the United States. Not at that moment. This was, remember, before they had the missile technology that President Clinton gave to them to make orbital activities possible. Remember, China wasn't putting anybody in orbit until President Clinton gave them the rocket technology to be able to fly American commercial payloads into space. Their rocket technology not quite up to it, so the president furnished them with the Delta rocket. That being said, these are the issues that we have to deal with now, because they do have nuclear weapons now. I doubt that they try to pull this off if they didn't have nuclear weapons, which is my point. Why did we ever let these people come up with these weapons to begin with? Troy in Dallas, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hey, JD, love the show.
Thank you, sir.
Because I was telling Vicky, because of that butterball turkey with a bad haircut that runs North Korea, because of his mentality and the way he is, a diplomatic solution will not even be on the table. But if we are going to do something, we need to do it, I think, pretty quick.
Well, I don't think that giving the guy, 5 more minutes is a good idea. You don't know. You have no idea how he's going to use those minutes. You have no idea. Like I said, going into the country with a SEAL team or 2 or 3, probably not in the cards, because remember, he's not living on his own. He's got a palace with palace guards and probably a company of hardcore North Korean soldiers around him. So what would we do? Don't know. But something tells me that President Trump does. We'll see. This is the Wells Report.
Sean Hannity has an answer to at least a few of the problems plaguing this country.
50 million on food stamps, 95 million Americans out of the labor force, worst recovery since the 40s, double the national debt. If we can get the Trump agenda through, we're going to help all those people that are suffering because of bad government policies.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Larry Elder at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt?
Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? You should know. The credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people. They're A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. That's 800-518-4020.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Simple Sleep Services. If snoring is a problem in your life, and if it's a problem in your life, it's a problem for everybody in your life, let's get the simplest, least invasive solution. That's what they did for me at Simple Sleep Services. What you have with Simple Sleep is a way to avoid implants and surgery and the CPAP device by just calling 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. They're in Dallas and Fort Worth. Insurance covers most folks. It's the Somnodent device. Simple appliance. They make it for you. They did one for me. You take it home, you pop it in, kiss your wife goodnight, and silent night. Absolutely fantastic. Diagnosis from a board-certified sleep physician. They have a home sleep study, so you're not in some lab. Call them for more information. 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. SimpleSleepServices.com. Wonderful people. I'm so glad I met them, and you will be too. 469-685-1700 or SimpleSleepServices.com.
Just look at them, having a great time. To think 6 weeks ago, I was just installed. All it took was one last spilled drink on their old dingy carpet, and they had enough of him. Thank goodness. They got the professionals at Adair's Fine Floors in here, and just look at me. I'm gorgeous. I'm not just your average wood floor. I take crazy traffic like a pro, and it's all because my homeowners called Adair's Fine Floors. Susan and Richard Adair came in, talked to the family, figured out what their needs were, and helped them find the perfect floor to fit their lifestyle. Adair's Fine Floors has a large selection with free sample checkouts, and they chose me. That's not all. Just look around. The coordinating accessories suggested by Adair's Floors. That rug over there? Yep, Adair's Floors. They offer free design and decorating assistance too, giving the home just the right look. Visit adairsfloors.com to get your home started on the right look for you. That's adairsfloors.com.
In business, risks and rewards come with every decision, like moving to the cloud with Office 365. While its benefits include anywhere access and lowered costs, cyber threats and user errors can quickly wipe out data and the money you save. Barracuda Essentials for Office 365 provide an added layer of security and functionality for threat protection, email migration, data recovery, and quality of service. Move securely to Office 365. Visit barracuda.com/essentials to learn more.
If you've been mattress shopping lately, you know that it can be extremely frustrating. So what's the best mattress in Dallas-Fort Worth? It's the Sovereign European Sleep System. Most people who buy a mattress at Sovereign will drive past between 4 and 22 big box mattress stores. Think about that. They drove past 4 other mattress stores to shop at Sovereign European Sleep Systems. Why? It's simply a better bed. A healthier, more durable, more comfortable mattress at a very reasonable price. Sovereign European Sleep Systems in Dallas and Southlake. Learn more at sovn.com.
Hi, this is Larry Patterson with Glass Doctor. If you're using a contractor to restore hail damage to your home, insist on them using the specialist at Glass Doctor for any glass or window damage. Many contractors use a fly-by-night glass company with no warranty. Your insurance company will only pay once to get the work done, so get it done right. With a lifetime warranty, only from the specialists at Glass Doctor. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today.
Call the Glass Doctor, will fix your pain. Oh, yeah.
Here's Jungle Jack Hanna for Cosequin.
There's nothing like seeing happy animals, but sometimes they just can't move like they used to, just like me. That's why the Columbus Zoo, voted #1 in America, uses the #1 brand to help our animals along, Cosequin.
From Jungle Jack's animals to your pets, Cosequin is the #1 vet-recommended brand of joint health supplements.
I'm Jungle Jack Hanna telling you Cosequin is the very best.
Cosequin, available from your veterinarian, pet retailers, and online at drugstore.com.
660 AM, The Answer.
660 AMTheAnswer.com.
Now, more of the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. North Korea has apparently been helping Iran grow its ballistic missile program. An Iranian opposition group has found 12 sites, not previously disclosed, where the Islamic government is developing ballistic missiles with the help of North Korean experts. The disclosure is one of many in a lengthy and detailed report released by the National Council of Resistance of Iran. They describe how Iran's missile program has accelerated since it signed an agreement July 14, 2015, to limit its development of nuclear weapons. The report's material reflects intelligence gathered by the People's Mojahedin Organization of Iran. The findings show the first full picture of the missile program of the Iranian regime, which is very extensive and costly. It also shows a close tie between the nuclear weapons program and the missile program. This according to Alireza Jafarzadeh, the deputy director of NCRI's U.S. office, and Fox News. Great. Nuclear weapons and rockets. What a great combination. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Hello, Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor here. I got a little show on the weekends, Sunday morning, and it's about natural organic gardening. We talk about landscaping and pest control. We talk about tree care. We talk about specific pest control on some things where other people say there are no solutions. Things like oak wilt, rose rosette, crepe myrtle bark scale, and fungal canker on Italian cypress. Join me every Sunday morning, 8 to 11, right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. An already hot summer is going to get warmer still with the heat of battle. Conservatives are battling for everything. You know we are. We have a Republican president, Republican Congress, and yet still everything is a struggle. Let's get these things done by doing business with a company that shares our values. Patriot Mobile. 1-800-A-PATRIOT, patriotmobile.com/Mark. Why is this important? Because your cell phone company, if it's one of the big mobile companies I could name, they gave millions to Hillary, Nancy Pelosi's cronies, gun grabbers, border softies. If that's okay with you, great. If not, switch on over. And when you switch to Patriot Mobile at 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/Mark, when you do, know that any contributions they make will go to conservative causes and candidates. You get the same phone selection, great service, save some money. So switch on over now. I feel great being a Patriot Mobile customer, getting conservative goals closer to reality. 1-800-A-PATRIOT, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or patriotmobile.com/Mark. patriotmobile.com/Mark.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper and deeper in credit card debt and you're not sure how to fix the problem? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management is a nonprofit organization that will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, and reduce your interest rates by as much as 60%. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. It's not a loan. It's a smart way to relieve your stress, meet your obligations, and preserve your self-respect. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Gather up your bills and call this toll-free number for a free, no-obligation debt analysis. 1-800-936-5348. That's 1-800-936-5348. If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5348.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. Karen Handel wins handily, and Georgia's 6th congressional district remains in Republican hands. Handel, Georgia's former Secretary of State, defeating Democrat and political newcomer Jon Ossoff by roughly 5 percentage points. The race, the most expensive in U.S. history, with roughly $50 million spent on ads.
The biggest threat from Cindy is going to be the heavy rainfall.
Dennis Feltgen with the National Hurricane Center says tropical storm Cindy will likely make landfall along the Louisiana-Texas Gulf Coast. The storm now stalled in the Gulf of Mexico. An explosion at Brussels' main train station, one of the busiest in Europe.
One man, as we understand it from the authorities, has been
as they describe it, neutralize.
Sky News correspondent Mark Stone, by neutralize, authorities mean shot. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. The Mark Davis Show. Mark Davis Show.
For a Wednesday, there's some what next questions in the air. What next for Georgia's 6th Congressional District? We'll look at the numbers and what both parties will learn moving forward. What's next for North Korea and for Russia? And I don't mean phony collusion stories. I mean real military tension in Syria and over the Baltic, where they're buzzing our recon planes now. It is a complicated world. We'll sort it out on our Wednesday show.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Manzeri, owner of Statewide Remodeling. If you're considering replacing the windows in your home, you probably know there are a bunch of companies to choose from, and we all got good things to say about ourselves. But you have to read between the lines. Do they have a showroom where you can see full-size displays? Do they manufacture their own windows? Or do they buy them from a manufacturer and you get to pay the additional markup for the middleman? Are their windows designed for Texas climate, or do they have one-size-fits-all? And lastly, what's their warranty like? They all look good when they're new. I'm happy to tell you that Statewide Remodeling has a showroom. We manufacture our own windows that are designed for Texas climate and have the longest warranty in the industry that includes workmanship for as long as you own your home. It even covers glass breakage and screen damage, and our prices won't break the bank. We offer 100% financing and discounts for cash on completion. So if you're ready to get new windows from a company who's been in business for 23 years, call us now in celebration of our 23rd anniversary. We're offering 23% off the price of the whole project. The number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095.
Ready and reliable, anytime, night or day. When your plumbing's got problems or your drains are clogged, that's when you need AAA. You go to AAA-auger.com.
Is your home ready for summer? Is your water system ready to handle the demands of Texas heat? Are you concerned about high water bills heading into summer? Call the reliable Red and the professional plumbers at AAA Auger Plumbing Services for a free home evaluation, where there's never a charge for coming out and no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays. Call AAA Auger Plumbing Services 24-hour hotline now at 877-999-1979. That's 877-999-1979. So if you need a plumber fast, call AAA Auger Plumbing Services. Some restrictions apply. License M37445.
When your plumbing's got problems or your drains are clogged, go to AAA-auger.com.
Do you know what a RIA is? It's a real estate investor association, and it's where smart people go to obtain wholesale houses, obtain no money, no credit financing, meet local buyers, sellers, and investing partners, and receive local market intelligence and training. Don't buy houses retail. That's ridiculous. And please don't waste your time and money going to a get-rich-quick seminar from a traveling pitchman. Come network with local Dallas area real estate investors that are just getting started or taking it to the next level. Come join the largest real estate investor network in Texas. We meet on Tuesday, June 27th at 6 p.m. at the Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine, and you can register to attend for free by calling 800-717-3320. This month's topic is how to buy houses without using banks. Call 800-717-3320. Write it down. That's 800-717-3320 to attend any of our upcoming meetings and receive a valuable Texas real estate training program for free. Brought to you by the Dallas Real Estate Investment Association.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. To get through life, to get through a vacation, to get through a work day, to get through whatever your day may hold, there's a lot of walking involved. And if that walking is painful, you've got a problem. I'm so glad to send you to the Good Feet stores to end that problem, getting you out of pain today. At their locations in Plano, Fort Worth, South Lake, and Waco. In fact, South Lake and Waco are open noon to 5 Sundays. What's going on at Good Feet? They're delivering America's arch supports that are #1 for getting people out of pain. There could be ball your foot pain, heel pain, plantar fasciitis, structural stuff, and that foot pain can radiate upwards. It can become hip pain, leg pain, even back pain. Let's get you out of pain at the Good Feet stores. For workouts, for running, your balance is better, your workouts are better, you're just feeling great. Work shoes, workout shoes, comfy shoes, even high heels. They've got everybody taken care of at the Good Feet stores. Plano, Fort Worth, South Lake, and Waco. Good Feet DFW. To learn more, goodfeetdfw.com. Get out of pain today. goodfeetdfw.com.
Hey, it's Frank Reed. I'm visiting with my friend Dr. Chad Glines from Genesis Back and Neck. You probably heard he's partnered with the Elevani Health Group for gel injections for your knee. Now, I've received this procedure myself. My knee pain is completely gone, but you guys do a lot more than knees at Genesis.
Yeah, absolutely. Being a spinal decompression specialist, we've been able to help people for years with their disc problems, but now teaming up with Elevani Health Group, it's amazing what we can do for knees with the gel injections. We have stem cell injections, but we can also take care of pain anywhere with this new device that we use. It's just an unbelievable procedure. And the crazy thing, it's narcotic free.
And the cool thing is this is covered by insurance and probably even your Medicare.
Absolutely. Medicare covers it. It is just amazing the results we're seeing with this.
You don't have to live with pain any longer. And your initial consultation is always free. Call for your appointment at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. So there was this very odd protest by the Democrats in Washington, D.C. You're not going to believe this, but do you know what they're protesting? They are protesting the fact that the evil Republicans are not letting anybody see what's in their health bill. The new Republican health care bill is being worked on by senators in secret. And the Democrats are infuriated. Makes you wonder if the Democrat Party as a whole has Alzheimer's disease, where their short-term memory is obliterated by this horrifying affliction. Because it wasn't long ago when their bill not only made it through the actual composition process, but it made it through the committee. It made it through a committee. It made it through the actual writing process. It made it through all of it to a vote in the House of Representatives, which was decorated by the comical statement, we have to pass the bill before you can find out what's in it. Now, don't get me wrong. I was very upset with the fact that I don't know anything about the bill now. And I have to be honest with you, I'm upset. I'm upset that the Republicans are doing the same thing. In other words, let me say that again. I was really upset when the Democrats did that years ago. I'm equally as upset about the fact that the Republicans are doing it now. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm reasonably sure I have an idea why the Republicans aren't doing it. But if they if they vote on this sucker without letting us know what's in it, I'm going to be extremely upset. And you're going to hear about it right here on the Wells Report. Now let's listen to what the Senate Senate Republicans have to say about bringing this legislation up, essentially under the radar. First of all, they can bring it up for a vote as early as next week. A discussion draft of the bill is expected Thursday. This, according to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Republicans are going to put this thing on the fast track through the Senate. It's already been passed by the House or something like it. They'll get into a conference committee, figure out the differences in the bill, And once they figure out the differences in the bill, the final versions will go back to the Senate and back to the House for an up or down vote with no debate. And then the bill will go to the president. Republicans, including Senators John Cornyn and Ted Cruz, are pushing back against mounting criticism of the GOP's closed-door negotiations over the measure. Democrats are blasting what they say is a rushed and secretive process, with GOP leaders poised to skip public hearings before voting on the bill that will affect millions of Americans. This is exactly what we were complaining about with the original Obamacare bill. Exactly. Word for flippin' word. Which leads me to one inescapable fact. And something else that I've been saying about this federal government process that we are essentially immersed and trapped inside. One, the federal government is way too important to life in America. In other words, we shouldn't be dealing with this stuff every day. Federal government business isn't this important. I mean, it shouldn't be this important. It is. I mean, after all, you're talking about a country that's, $20 trillion in debt. Obviously, these people know how to draw a crowd. They know how to draw a crowd. And it's like they've spent $20 trillion. You dare not turn aside. What will they do? What will they do while your back is turned? You see, and that's something else I've been saying. The other thing I've been saying is this. We have got to have a government. We've got to have a federal government that we can turn our back on. We haven't had that for at least 10 years. Eight 660-5759. We haven't had that for at least 6 years or 8 years. Now, Cornyn says that there's nothing secret about what's going on in what they're doing. We have to vote on it in public. There will be an opportunity to debate it and amend it, which is absolutely critical. GOP senators have been meeting for months over an Obamacare replacement, but have remained tight-lipped about those talks and how much of the bill will mirror the House-passed American Health Care Act. Those sections of the Senate bill have been sent to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office for cost analysis. The legislation hasn't been finalized, said Cornyn. McConnell told reporters today that a vote on the bill will be held once the CBO has analyzed the impact of the legislation. Not that that matters, because they keep forgetting what they need to do to be able to actually come up with correct numbers. That's the CBO. The CBO keeps leaving things out. It does leave plenty of time for public consideration before the vote, said Cornyn, noting that under parliamentary rules of the Senate, the floor debate could last 10 hours or longer and unlimited amendments can be offered. I suspect people are going to see and hear much about this and perhaps more than they even want to, said Cornyn. Cruz, another central figure in the negotiations, said that the GOP hasn't secured the 50 votes necessary to pass the measure. The draft doesn't yet do enough to lower insurance premiums. He, too, dismissed the criticism over the process. I have to confess, I find the Democrats' complaint about the lack of debate about Obamacare fairly amusing. There's been no political issue in modern times more debated than Obamacare, he told reporters. Yes, after the fact, Senator. He goes on to say that there's been a difference between political rhetoric and a bumper sticker that says repeal and replace. And the reality of how we're going to do that impacts people's lives. That's what we want to have input on. Well, yeah, I would say. At a White House briefing today, Press Secretary Sean Spicer and the Democrats, or said the Democrats, are to blame for being left out of the talks. They made it very clear they did not want to engage in the process. It's true. Cornyn has also accused Democrats of sitting on the sidelines of the health care debate. Democrats, however, said that they're willing to fix but not repeal Obamacare. Well, request denied. Democrats are attempting to use procedural roadblocks to stall Republicans, the party of obstruction, the party of no. On Monday, they held the Senate floor for several hours and forced McConnell to turn aside requests to require Senate committees to debate and vote on the measure, a step in the legislative process the GOP leaders have foregone. If the GOP continues to insist on ramming through a secret health care bill without any public input, they should not expect business as usual, said Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Well, considering what you did with Obamacare, it seems to me that that is exactly business as usual. Ram it through in the middle of the night in secret. Yeah, there we go. Let's do that. You know, Chuck, somebody needs to tell Chuck Schumer that, seriously, you need to wake up. You need to wake up and realize that there are certain realities. You've got to stop looking through the facts to see your politics. Just bring that rather disturbed vision back a little closer to the facts and start dealing with those. You clowns created Obamacare. It was an abject disaster. It's falling apart even as we speak. That's something you're not going to be able to hang on Republicans. You're not. Anything the Republicans do is cleaning up your mess. I'm telling you in plain, undecorated, easy to understand language. The government of the United States is not capable of running a healthcare system. Ask any veteran. It is not possible. The further away we can get the government of the United States away from our healthcare, the better. By the way, a handful of Republicans have also criticized this process. It's unclear whether that's going to prove to be a hurdle when the time comes to vote. We used to complain like hell when Democrats ran the Affordable Care Act. Now we're doing the same thing. This according to John McCain. He's right. If you're frustrated by the lack of transparency in the process, I share that frustration, said Mike Lee, a close Cruz ally, adding that senators should have seen the measure weeks ago if the chamber was voting next week. Senator Bob Corker of Tennessee told MSNBC he would have liked for this to be a more open process, to have committee hearings, but that's not what we're doing. Part of me wishes that that was the case too. I would wish that they would talk about this thing in committee, that we would get a copy of it so we could read it, so we have some idea where 1/6 of our economy is going to go. Especially since our health care relies on it. But no, not so far. President Donald Trump wants a bill that has heart. Nobody knows what that means. The Senate is using the American Health Care Act as a baseline. Cornyn says to expect changes. The CBO has predicted the American Health Care Act could lead to 23 million fewer Americans having health care coverage by 2026. Well, you know, I would be a little bit more optimistic about their numbers were it not for the fact that the CBO has not been able to hit their butt with either hand when it comes to trying to figure out just exactly what Obamacare is going to cost and what it's not going to cost. I don't think a near nonstop record of incompetence gives you that big a seat at the table. This is the Wells Report.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard. After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because I really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code 660AM.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and 3-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-725-1616 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-725-1616. That's 800-725-1616. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. In the last 2 months, we've saved our customers over $500,000. How'd we do it? With our exclusive partnership with your utility provider, we get to offer instant rebates of up to $1,500 when you replace that worn-out AC system. When you combine that with Carrier's Cool Cash savings of up to $3,500, we're talking saving over $5,000 on a brand new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. Now that's how you save people money without gimmicks. But you'll have to hurry because the utility funds can run out at any time. So we're scheduling our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. So call 2 other companies first, get their price, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning. And you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Call 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Have you still not refinanced your mortgage? Well, soon you may be kicking yourself in the head. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial, and interest rates have gone up recently and will continue to rise, but they're still at historical lows. So don't delay. Let us lower your monthly payment, consolidate a first and second, pay off other debt, or drop you into a 15-year loan with no closing costs. That's right. Nothing's rolled into your loan. We'll pay for your appraisal, title, underwriting, settlement fee, everything. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Whether it's a purchase or refinance, you'll pay no closing costs. You won't spend a dime. Think about it. All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to find out how we can save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. And by the way, Westland Financial now is proud to offer reverse mortgages for our clients over 62. So call us at 888-455-3669. The only way you can lose money is not to call Westland Financial. That's 888-455-3669. 888-455-3669.
Westland Financial Corp is located at 200 East Sandpoint Avenue, Suite 800, Santa Ana, California, 92707. Licensed by the Texas Department of Savings and Mortgage Lending as an SML Mortgage Banker. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Sean Hannity here for my friends at Generator Supercenter, the great American story. Now, this started in 2005 with 2 brothers selling and repairing generators out of their garage in Texas. Today, they are the #1 Generac dealer in the nation. #1 means more savings for you. When the power goes down, keep your home or business up and running with a Generac standby power system from the Generator Supercenter. Financing available, payments as low as $100 a month. GeneratorSupercenter.com. That's GeneratorSupercenter.com.
94.9 KLTY Celebrate Freedom 27 from Interstate Batteries.
A day of fun for your family with Crowder, Matthew West, Britt Nicole, Holland, and more.
Saturday, June 24th at South Fork Ranch. Get your official Celebrate Freedom 27 memorabilia and more at CelebrateFreedom.com.
Sponsored by Interstate Batteries, Dallas Baptist University, Feed My starving children, Cornerstone Staffing, Care Now, Splash Kingdom, North Texas Chevy Dealers, and 94.9 KLTY.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. I am waiting for the final version of this bill, and the Senate is planning on it for next week. 5 years ago, Ted Cruz was running for an open U.S. Senate seat in Texas. One of the biggest talking points, repealing President Obama's 2010 health care law. Now is not a time for a conciliation, he said at the time. The Senate will be the battleground for Obamacare. I intend to lead the fight to repeal every word of it. Yet, as the U.S. Senate Republicans hash out how to unwind Obamacare behind closed doors, the world is not so black and white anymore for the junior senator from Texas. He's playing a central role in those negotiations. They're virtually certain not to lead to a measure that repeals every word of Obamacare. It's probably splitting hairs. The thing about Obamacare that was most injurious to the American people was this ridiculous notion that you should be forced to buy health care, that you should be forced to buy health insurance. That is not the government. That's not government business. Their job is to make sure that the health insurance that you pay for provides a sincere and good fiduciary service to you. That's their job. That's what the government's job is supposed to be, to make sure that if somebody sells you a health care plan, that they live up to it. It was never the job of the United States government to dictate the terms of what that health care should look like, essentially running a private corporation, especially when everything that the American government touches from an economic standpoint turns into a mess. You see, the more the government takes its hands off of the economy, the better it is for everyone. So in this particular case, forcing you to buy health insurance was egregiously bad from the beginning, which is why it went to the Supreme Court. And it was unbelievable that Chief Justice John Roberts found some way of turning it into a tax, which he could not do because he's not in the Congress. The Congress levies taxes. On and on and on. What's wrong with Obamacare, essentially allowed us to see the corruption in our current federal government. And so what we're going to do is they should have just repealed every word of Obamacare and started completely over. Make a clean break with the past and create a new future. A market-based, American style opportunity for Americans to provide themselves with health insurance if they choose to. And no fine if they don't choose to. For his part, Cruz says he has not changed his mind. Many in the press have had to caricature that as saying, "You have said you will never compromise. A person who never said that is me." And to him, not all compromises are equal. I'm not interested in a compromise that makes the problem worse. Beyond the strategic differences, Cruz paints a picture that is now functioning as a cohesive force inside the Senate among Republicans. For Cruz to be speaking this way is no small matter. Over the first 4 years as a senator, he singled himself out as an immovable bulwark against the moderates in his own party. That helped sour relationships with many of his fellow Republicans. But it also made some points that a lot of us sent Ted Cruz to Washington to make. And we are eternally grateful that he made those points. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. You are listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Hugh Hewitt explains the next step in the Russia fiasco.
You can't indict a sitting president. That's the weight of scholarly opinion. There's also quite a lot of scholarly opinion. You can't even obstruct an FBI investigation as opposed to a prosecution or a grand jury. So it's all just stuck in a cul-de-sac until Bob Mueller comes, because Comey can't just keep going back up and testify and testify and testify. And so I think it's done until we hear from Mueller, but the president is in peril and he's got to be careful.
The Hugh Hewitt Show, weekday mornings at 5, right before Mark Davis at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
What if you could have an experience of a lifetime, and I mean it, a lifetime this year? Dennis Prager here, and a timely and important expedition to the land of Israel awaits you. Make plans now for the Stand with Israel tour happening this fall. Join me on a 9-day trip to Israel that offers you firsthand insight into Israel's unique past and probably unique future. We'll introduce you to the geopolitical, economic, and security dynamics of a truly remarkable nation. Get a behind-the-scenes view into many of the places you've read and heard about, all during United Jerusalem's 50th anniversary. The Western Wall, Jerusalem, the Dead Sea, Golan Heights, and much more. With expert guides and important lectures at key sites, all in the comfort and safety of first-class accommodations.
Look forward to something special this year. Stand with Israel. For details about this all-inclusive trip happening this fall, visit 660amtheanswer.com for all the details.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Manzeri, owner of Statewide Remodeling. You know, a great woman once said that we're free up to the moment of choice, and then the choice controls the chooser. That is nowhere more true than when you're deciding on a contractor that work on your home. You know, once you commit and sign the agreement, and in most cases make a pretty good sized down payment, you're stuck. What happens if the work doesn't go as planned? Takes too long to complete the job, or worse yet, the contractor just disappears. It happens. We've been offering a satisfaction guarantee in writing since we started business 23 years ago. And I'm happy to say we've never had to use it, because if it ain't right, we'll make it right every time. So if you're considering new replacement windows or maintenance-free siding to eliminate the need to paint your home, call us now. And to celebrate our 23rd year in business, we're offering 23% off the whole project. We also offer 100% financing. The estimate's free, and the number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095, or see all the home improvement products we offer at statewideremodeling.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
It's exciting. You're thinking about going back to school, completing your degree, and advancing your future. But right now, you have more questions than answers. Like, how fast can I complete my degree? Can I transfer my credits? Can I make this work with my job and family? How much will it cost? All smart questions. The key to answering them can be found with your smartphone. We're Southern New Hampshire University. Send us a text and we'll bring the answers. Learn about SNHU plus the top 3 financial aid mistakes and how to avoid them by texting CREDIT to 554433. You'll also learn about our exciting, affordable, high-quality online programs, about our tradition and reputation for success since 1932. And we'd love to tell you how we provide all the individual flexibility, support, and encouragement needed to maximize your success. Southern New Hampshire University. Online, on campus. See yourself succeed. Learn about SNHU plus the top 3 financial aid mistakes and how to avoid them by texting CREDIT to 554433. Text CREDIT to 554433.
There are 2 things every parent wants when their child goes to college: for their child to do well and a way to afford it. Now, with Discover Student Loans, parents can have the best of both worlds. Not only do our loans cover up to 100% of school-certified costs with 0 fees, but we'll give them a cash reward for each new student loan if they earn at least a 3.0 GPA or equivalent. That means every A in history or B in math could help them earn a cash reward for good grades. Just one of the many ways we treat you like you'd treat you. Apply now in 15 minutes or less at discoverstudentloans.com. Limitations apply.
The key to success? Keep it simple, especially when it comes to hiring. And nobody makes it easier than Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Manage your candidates from one dashboard. According to an independent study, 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. New users claim your $50 credit to post a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Amazing to realize, but you know, it's been almost 2 years. I've been talking with you about Relief Factor, and I can tell you I've been continually inundated with testimonials. If you're struggling with ongoing back or neck pain, shoulder, hip, or knee pain, or general muscle pain, pains of any kind, do what tens of thousands of others have done so successfully. Go to ReliefFactor.com and order their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. 1-800-500-8384. That's 1-800-500 1-800-8384.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show.
Mornings 7 to 10.
On 660 AM. The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. At this particular juncture of American politics and in our current flow, this current of history, if you want to say it that way. If you believe that time is a river, then certainly this is a particular current in that river. And this one is not something that is going to be looked back on with much humor or appreciation, more derision and incredulity, I guess. Because this would be the age where America, as a society, forgot which bathroom to use. This has forced otherwise reasonably high-functioning legislatures around the country to create laws that are then immediately taken up by leftist clods in court. You know, once again, you know, the left cannot pass anything in the legislature. All they can do is take what other people pass and make law by taking it to court and having the court rule against it. That is not the way American government works. We are not ruled by a governing judicial oligarchy. But I guess that's what Democrats want. It becomes more and more obvious every single day that the Democrats are anti-American. They are anti-constitutional. They do not want to have to come up with proper policy because it doesn't suit their whims. And I have to be perfectly honest with you, just as a quick aside here. I never had to deal with racism, even though I grew up in Brevard, North Carolina in the 60s. Brevard wasn't a very racial town, to be perfectly honest with you. That's thing number one. Thing number two, my parents certainly weren't racial in any way, shape, or form. Everybody came to our house. Everybody came to our house. But there were problems, both north and south of the Mason-Dixon line. And there were people that were being killed because of the color of their skin. Which is why the United States passed the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, and many other laws designed to protect African Americans in this society. And for whatever reason, the left seems that anybody who now qualifies as a minority, any minority, they are somehow qualified to receive those very same privileges and protections. And they are not. These people, these cobbled up groups of aggrieved people are not privy to the same protections, privileges, etc., as African Americans in this nation, because they did not endure what African Americans did in this nation. Beaten to a stupor because they happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, arrested for nothing, executed for whistling at a white woman. These are not things that were suffered by Hispanics. And oh, by the way, every bit of their lives began with slavery. Again. Hispanics didn't suffer this. Women didn't suffer this. Gays, transgender didn't suffer these things. And to say for whatever reason that these aggrieved groups deserve the same handling as America's African American population is offensive. But nonetheless, here we are in 2017 trying to debate how we write law to keep men in men's rooms and women in women's rooms when it comes to public restrooms and facilities. The left, the mainstream media, the leftist media, whatever you want to call them, made great sport of how these ridiculous, stiff-necked conservatives are trying to come up with a bill to regulate that genders are separate in public restrooms, which is something else that infuriated me, or that infuriates me, frankly. We shouldn't be dealing with this to begin with. But once again, we find ourselves being led around by the nose by leftist clods with very silly ideas about how life should be in America. And their imperious willingness to put you down, browbeat you, make you feel somehow ashamed of being logical and dealing in reality is nothing short of amazing to me. I'm not the only one. When asked how important it was that legislatures in Texas restrict access to public restrooms for transgender people, 26% of 44% said that it was very important. "44% of respondents believe that this legislation is important." They go on to say that 47% do not. This is a Texas Tribune poll. This in response to the special session where the bathroom bill is going to be considered again. Now, for his part, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has some issues with the Texas Tribune article that I'm quoting from. Here's what he says. A University of Texas Tribune poll was released yesterday under a headline indicating most Texans do not think that privacy legislation requiring separate designated restrooms, locker rooms, and showers for men and women and boys and girls in public schools and government facilities is important. According to news reports, 44% of those surveyed believe privacy is an important issue. 47% do not. What the news stories fail to explain is the data released shows the number of Texans who believe privacy to be an important issue has increased 5 points since the last University of Texas Tribune poll was released in February. Also buried in the news coverage was the fact the poll showed support for privacy legislation increasing 13% among Republican voters and 31% among Tea Party Republicans, while opposition to privacy legislation among Democrats has not changed. This dramatic increase in support among proponents of privacy legislation and the lack of change among opponents is particularly telling, considering the onslaught of negative news coverage hurled at private legislation or privacy legislation advocates during the 140-day regular legislative session. One anti-privacy group announced there has been $200 million in bad publicity for the state as a result of the proposed bathroom legislation. Why did they make it 200 billion, 200 trillion, 250 gazillion? Why did they say that? They're just pulling these numbers out of their hats. Clearly, all this bad publicity only galvanized Texans in their support for safety and privacy of women. Yeah. Your mom, your wife, your daughter deserves privacy even in public. That's what this is all about. And it's foolish and ridiculous to believe that society has got to bend and change and react to whatever completely crazy thing the left can think up next. Yesterday on this broadcast, I reported that some idiot college professor believed that there's a dozen different genders. You know why that person believes that? Too much LSD when he was a kid. Jim in Denton, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hey, John David, how are you doing tonight?
I'm having the time of my life. How about you?
Driving home from work. Hey, listen, it seems like we're living in a time where everybody wants their problem to become everyone else's problem, and they don't want to take responsibility for their problem and figure out ways to deal with it. We have men's room for men, women's room for women. If they want to do something different from that, then let them deal with it. I don't care about them.
The society, look, the society doesn't have to bend for every particular vagary that the left is able to think up. Look at what they've come up with. They've come up with, okay, you have to use the proper pronoun for any given individual. And I suppose you just have to guess as to what that pronoun is under pain of legal trouble. In other words, they're passing laws, fining people for calling people the wrong pronoun. Excuse me? That's not going to happen. I am not going to deal with that. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with it. If I get somebody's pronoun wrong, go ahead. Throw me in jail. Make my day. I'm just not going to entertain it. And neither should anybody else. You know, all these people say that civil disobedience is a good thing. It's what they should be doing, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Mind if I give it a try? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Of course, there's strong support for protecting women in public restrooms. Why would there not be? I doubt very sincerely that anybody who's been passionately extolling the need for complete and total equality. I mean, I'm so sorry, but how do you provide equality to someone who is of one gender but believes sincerely that they are not? How do you provide societal equality for somebody like that? The answer is you can't. The answer is that the pursuit of it is a fool's errand. That gets nowhere. Eight 660-5759, 866-660-5759. Remember, I'm just saying what I think. What you think is something we should be hearing on the radio. If it disagrees with me, that's fine. I just want to hear it. I want to hear what you have to say. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. Back with more in just a moment.
Hello, Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor here. I got a little show on the weekends, Sunday morning, and it's about natural organic gardening. We talk about landscaping and pest control. We talk about tree care. We talk about specific pest control on some things where other people say there are no solutions. Things like oak wilt, rose rosette, crepe myrtle bark scale, and fungal canker on Italian cypress. Join me every Sunday morning, 8 to 11, right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friend Josh DeShong. Let's make this the summer where Josh sells your home as quickly as he sold ours. I love this guy. You get the Josh DeShong promise. He comes, sits down with you. You talk price and time frame. You reach an agreement on a price you'd love and a time frame you can handle. And if he can't sell that house of yours at that price in that time frame, he buys it. He promises if he can't sell it, he buys it. So get going. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644 or getsold.net. Now, not only will he do that on the market, but there's an instant buyout program right now. They can give you an offer today without even listing the home. Best part is in a lot of areas throughout North Texas, you're getting full market value without even listing the home, not worrying about showings and stuff. So if you're really ready to move fast, go for the instant buyout program. 972-325-6644. Ask about it at 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
My husband and I wanted to buy a new car, and we don't have very good credit ratings, so the bank recommended Trinity, so we called them. And the people were very nice. They told us the best solution for our problems.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5348 to talk to a certified counselor.
Trinity consolidated our bills, got us a lower interest rate, and a much better monthly payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
We feel much better now. Things are going pretty well. And since we've been with Trinity, our credit rating has really improved.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5348.
My name is Ann, and we're debt-free for keeps.
1-800-936-5348.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business. So make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Glines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck, and I use the most advanced spinal decompression system available, the DRX 9000, to correct back problems just like yours. We don't use addictive drugs, and we don't use any type of dangerous invasive surgery for these problems. Spinal decompression is safe, FDA cleared, and it's not painful, and has about an 86% success rate. We accept most insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. You will sit down and visit with me personally until I've answered all of your questions. And if you're a candidate for decompression, you can try out the treatment all at no charge to you. So if you're ready to not hurt anymore and don't want to have surgery, call me at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at mylowback.com.
It's the original Fort Worth Gun Show this weekend only at the Will Rogers Memorial Center. Don't be confused. This is the biggest and the best with the most new and used guns, knives, ammo, home defense, hunting, tactical, military collectibles, camo, apparel, optics, reloading, and more. Over 1,200 tables all under one roof. Come and buy, sell, or trade. Visit our website, premiergunshows.com, or call 817-732-1194. That's the original Fort Worth Gun Show at Will Rogers Memorial Center this weekend only.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Congress is considering new legislation that would permit lawmakers to carry a concealed firearm wherever they perform official duties across the United States. This according to a copy of a new bill that marks an unprecedented effort to help lawmakers confront a growing threat to their safety. Representative Brian Babin of Texas introduced the legislation today, about a week after a radicalized shooter opposed to President Donald Trump and Republicans shot Representative Steve Scalise, a congressional staffer, a lobbyist, and 2 Capitol Police officers. The legislation would enable certified members of Congress to carry a concealed weapon in nearly every conceivable scenario. How about this? Why not rewrite the bill so that a congressman can carry a concealed weapon in every conceivable scenario? In other words, wherever they wanted to go, anywhere. The legislation would supersede any state or federal concealed carry laws, meaning that lawmakers would still enjoy the privilege even if the secondary state laws state otherwise. Yeah, this is FBI agents have this same privilege. Okay? Congressmen, congresswomen need to be able to carry a weapon. Whether they carry a weapon or not is moot. But they need to be able to anywhere they choose to go. Anywhere. This is the Wells Report.
Mike Gallagher wants the GOP to rally together.
You may be the first president in history to go down because you can't stop inappropriately talking about an investigation.
Well, no, he may be the first president to go down because he can't get fellow Republicans like you to support him. I don't know why this is so hard for Republicans to muster at least the pretense of support for a president who is under siege by the American media.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekday mornings at 10, right before Dennis Prager at noon on 660 AM. The Answer.
Tune in Sundays at noon for the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. Join us each Sunday when we discuss the principles and practices of the successful real estate investor. We bring you experts to answer your questions on how to use real estate to build wealth and passive realized monthly income, and teach you the ins and outs of investing in real estate. So tune in Sundays at noon, right here for the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show.
Join us for the Real Investor Radio Show right here on 660 AM. The Answer.
Sean Hannity here for my friends at Generator Supercenter, the great American story. Now, this started in 2005 with 2 brothers selling and repairing generators out of their garage in Texas. Today, they are the #1 Generac dealer in the nation. #1 means more savings for you. When the power goes down, keep your home or business up and running with a Generac standby power system from the Generator Supercenter. Financing available, payments as low as $100 a month. GeneratorSupercenter.com. That's GeneratorSupercenter.com.
Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY and AEG Live, welcome the Outcry Festival with Louis Giglio.
And it's believing God who says the latter days are going to be greater than the former days. And you'll always be able to say, I was there.
Hillsong United. Jesus Culture. Lauren Daigle, Passion, and more. Saturday, August 5th at Toyota Stadium in Frisco. OutcryFestival.com. That's OutcryFestival.com.
More praise for author B.K. Dell's Mead Mountain.
Best book I've read in years. My heart has been so heavy with our world, I don't think I need to explain myself.
Yes, indeedy do da day. Yes, indeedy do da day. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Listen, man, you know, I'm pretty sure that you're not doing it on purpose or I would block you. I love you, Mike, but But you have to you got to take the racial overtones out of your debates with Isaac, because it's not right. It's not fair, and it's uncomfortable. Okay? Remember, we're supposed to have fun over here, right? Okay? All right. This is supposed to be polite conversation, right? All right. Okay, here we go. I got some great news the other day. I got some great news the other day. My Congressman Michael Burgess, is going to run for re-election. Yeah. You know what else he's going to do? He's going to show up on the Wells Report. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about the repeal and replacement of Obamacare. We're going to talk about the unfortunate. What am I going to say?
We're going to talk about tax reform.
Okay, tax reform.
And whatever you were saying.
And whatever I was saying. Okay, here we go. I got some great news the other day. My Congressman Michael Burgess of the Texas 26th is going to run for re-election. Yeah. I also am, and I also got the news that he will be on the next edition of the Wells Report. We're going to talk about Obamacare and the repealing and replacement of it. We're also going to talk about the new tax plan, which is going to be awesome. And we'll talk about whatever else Congressman Michael Burgess wants to talk about next time on the Wells Report. Mark Davis, good Wednesday morning, brother. The long shift for you, my friend. Well, more Mark Davis is better than less Mark Davis. Just let me say that, okay? Coming up next on the Wells Report, we're going to have Congressman Michael Burgess. We're going to talk about the repealment. Coming up next time on the Wells Report, we're going to have Michael Burgess, the congressman from the Texas 26th. Coming up on the next edition of the Wells Report, we're going to have Congressman Michael Burgess of the Texas 26th. We're going to talk about Obamacare, the repealment. We're going to talk about Obamacare. Coming up on the next edition of the Wells Report, we're going to have Congressman Michael Burgess. We're going to talk about the repealing and replacement of Obamacare. We're also going to be talking about the new tax plan and anything else the Congressman wants to talk about. Join us on the next edition of the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Market intelligence and training. Don't buy houses retail. That's ridiculous. And please don't waste your time and money going to a get-rich-quick seminar from a traveling pitchman. Come network with local Dallas area real estate investors that are just getting started or taking it to the next level. Come join the largest real estate investor network in Texas. We meet on Tuesday, June 27th at 6 p.m. at the Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine. And you can register to attend for free by calling 800-717-3320. This month's topic is how to buy houses without using banks. Call 800-717-3320. Write it down. That's 800-717-3320 to attend any of our upcoming meetings and receive a valuable Texas real estate training program for free. Brought to you by the Dallas Real Estate Investment Association.
If you're a business owner, I want you to imagine standing on home plate in front of a sold-out crowd of 50,000 raving fans at a professional baseball game. They give you the microphone and you have 60 seconds to tell the crowd why they should do business with you. Out of 50,000 people, do you think you might get some new customers? Sure you would. Now imagine you could do that in front of 4 sold-out baseball games. That's 200,000 people. Did you know that's how many people listen to 660 AM The Answer every week? And you have the opportunity to stand in front of the 660 AM The Answer microphone and get 60 seconds to tell our raving fans all about your business. Do you think you'd get new customers if you did that? You bet. The businesses you hear on 660 AM The Answer are knocking it out of the park with new customers. If you're open to seeing how much it costs to advertise your business on 660 AM The Answer, send an email request to advertise@ksky.com. That's advertise@ksky.com. Let's play ball.
If you're an unincorporated business owner, it's too late for you. That is, if you've already been sued and lost your home, your car, and your family's life savings. But if you haven't been sued yet, there is still time to incorporate and protect your personal assets. And if you do it right now, you can incorporate in just 10 minutes because Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners. For your free 10-minute incorporation guide, call now 1-800-300-9596. Incorporation is the shield that protects your personal assets. Without it, you could lose everything. That's why at Incorporate.com, they just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. They don't provide legal or financial advice. If someone sues tomorrow, will you lose everything?
Don't wait until it's too late. Hurry and call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide while they're still giving them away for free. Call 1-800-300-9596. That's 1-800-300-9596. 1-800-300-9596.
From Plano to Denton down to Louisville too. Hotline has it. Also in McKinney, we'll prove it to you.
And now, due to recent storms in the area, Hot Finds is having one hail of a sale, which means record-breaking savings to you at the 9 area Hot Finds dealerships. Our insurance adjusters did their part, and now it's your turn to do yours by saving thousands on Hot Finds' Texas-size selection of new and worry-free certified pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Most all vehicles are now in perfect condition, and the only difference is the massive amount of money you will save. It's one hail of a sale. And on behalf of everyone at Huff Hines, thank you for voting Huff Hines the Consumer's Choice Auto Group of the Year for the 9th consecutive year. So for record-breaking hail sale savings, visit any of the 9 area Huff Hines dealerships in Plano, Corinth, Louisville, and McKinney, or online at huffhines.net.
Hi, this is Larry Patterson with Glass Doctor. If you're using a contractor to restore hail damage to your home, insist on them using the specialists at Glass Doctor for any glass or window damage. Many contractors use a fly-by-night glass company with no warranty. Your insurance company will only pay once to get the work done, so get it done right. With a lifetime warranty, only from the specialists at Glass Doctor. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. One of the most amazing things coming out of the Obama presidency is the willingness to essentially depend on the mainstream media to protect the mistakes and the difficulty that was generated by certain members of the Obama administration and the president himself. There are laws in this country that govern certain conduct, and these laws are passed with intent. The intent of the law is to provide X, Y, and Z. We have laws that protect public information. We have laws that protect communications between government workers as a matter of course and as a matter of national archiving purposes. What this country means to not just ourselves at this time. What this country also means is the posterity that we leave ourselves to ourselves and our descendants. What were we doing? How did we handle these situations? That's what an archives is for. That's what history is supposed to convey to those people who follow along after us. When that history is tampered with, when it is unavailable, regardless of the reason, that mission of protect the future by knowing the past is compromised. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Judicial Watch is a conservative organization that is expert at identifying what public information needs to be made more public and the use of laws that make that happen. The Freedom of Information Act. Judicial Watch requested certain documents regarding National Security Advisor Susan Rice's unmasking of various Donald Trump operatives involved in the Trump campaign, the transition, and now the administration. The unmasking is barely legal and perhaps not legal until there is a special prosecutor looking into Susan Rice's conduct. We don't know. However, there is all kinds of information available to people who would simply ask for it if they were given an opportunity to do so. And therein lies the opportunity of the Freedom of Information Act. Judicial Watch asked for some of this information into Susan Rice's unmasking of various Trump workers, campaign and transition workers. The National Security Council informed Judicial Watch today that materials regarding former National Security Advisor Susan Rice's reported requests to identify masked U.S. persons in intelligence reports linked to President Donald Trump's transition and campaign have all been sent to Barack Obama's presidential library outside of Chicago. This, by the way, is supposed to insulate the Obama administration and Susan Rice from having to explain what those papers show. Because you see, when something is transferred to the presidential library of a departing president, the records are sealed for 5 years. Clearly in violation of the intent of the Freedom of Information Act and by the National Official Record Acts and all manner of American law. Rice, who served as a senior official during the Obama administration, had requested several occasions the identities of U.S. persons associated with Trump whose identities were concealed, according to press reports from earlier this year. Following the revelations, Judicial Watch sent a Freedom of Information Act request for records concerning any and all requests for information analyses, summaries, assessments, transcripts, or similar records submitted to any intelligence community member, agency, or any official, employee, or representative thereof by Susan Rice. First of all, the request is overly broad. I'm surprised it was not turned aside immediately. You have to be more specific than that. But apparently, the NSC Access Management Director, John Powers, responded to the FOIA request in a May 23rd letter. Quote, documents from the Obama administration have been transferred to the Barack Obama Presidential Library. You may send your request to the Obama Library. However, you should be aware that under the Presidential Records Act, presidential records remain closed to the public for 5 years after an administration has left office. This, of course, does not include protecting someone by concealing evidence of felonies. Judicial Watch's FOIA request sought to obtain documents related to Rice's communications with intelligence officials on a range of issues, and all of those records managed to make it to the Obama Presidential Library, where, at least for now, they will remain sealed. But what does this tell us? What does this tell us right now? What this tells us right this minute is that at the very least, the Obama administration, and of course Susan Rice, is very concerned that her conduct regarding this particular topic and her moves having to do with unmasking of these workers is problematic from a legal standpoint. Now, I understand what they mean. I understand what they're concerned about. Because here's what they're trying to figure out. What they're trying to figure out is this. They want to get into court and determine whether or not Susan Rice was actually looking for intelligence information by unmasking of all these people, or whether she was looking for political information. She may win the argument in court, but then again, she may lose the argument in court. If she loses the argument in court, then she is quite probably guilty of some very serious felonies. There's also another problem. Who's her boss? Well, her boss was President Obama. And President Obama, gosh, you know what? There's nobody between Susan Rice and President Obama at all. Which means that if she did this, I suppose President Obama could argue that she did it on her own without his direction. But even that's a discussion. Even that's a discussion that could be determined to be either to have veracity or not in a court of law. So there are two 50-50s here that Susan Rice is acutely uncomfortable with, and so is President Obama. But I am telling you that the number one reason that they don't want this stuff out in the public is because they think it's problematic. Which is sort of like them saying, here, we're going to hide this evidence because we're worried about it. Which is like saying, hey, look, we played fast and loose with the truth and the law. And we did this so often that the preponderance of evidence proves that we kind of sort of spied on people when we shouldn't have, and unmasked identities of people when we shouldn't have, and created spreadsheets and started putting these people under surveillance all the time to see who they were meeting with without warrants of any kind. And the warrants they did have were tenuous. And the pattern was enough so that the FISA court itself told them to knock it off. So is there a case here? You bet. Is Judicial Watch on the right track? Uh-huh. Will taking all of these documents into the President Obama Presidential Library keep Susan Rice from a day in court? Those papers are one subpoena away from being public. The question is, who's got the guts to write the subpoena? Let me get to Neville in Fort Worth. Neville, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hello. On top of everything that you mentioned, there's another big problem, and that is that Susan Rice was merely a White House staffer. It is not their job or their position to be unmasking anybody. And whoever it was that she went to ask for the unmasking should have shut it down right there. It's not her position. It's not her place.
Okay, now hang on a second. You do know that she is a national security advisor to the president.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that means she gets access to national security information. And if indeed there is, and this is part of the case, Neville, this would be part of the circumstance. What you're mentioning is it's a circumstantial piece of evidence that she was on the White House staff and theoretically a consumer of the analysis that she was purportedly trying to make herself. Now, that's a question that would be taken up in a courtroom, and I get that. But when you say when she had no business even looking at that information, she did.
She had business looking at it in the masked version. There's a reason they do the masking, and the unmasking has to meet some standards.
Yeah.
And this was obviously just a fishing trip for her.
Well, listen,
now
hang on a second. Hang on, Neville. I'm going to keep you on hold and take you through the break because I didn't realize it was this late. I want to hear what you have to say. Can you stick?
Okay.
All right, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
In 1967, Arab forces attempted Israel. 6 days later, Israel triumphed. Jerusalem unified for the first time in nearly 2,000 years. Honor the 50-year anniversary of this historic triumph by joining Mike Gallagher and Dennis Prager for Stand With Israel, a 9-day odyssey celebrating Israel's past, present, and future. Explore Israel's heritage at Galilee and Jerusalem. Embrace the present, touring modern Tel Aviv. You'll meet with high-ranking Israeli leaders and understand more deeply the complexities and marvels of modern Israel. You'll walk on soil contended for with courage. As a conservative American, you can show your support. Stand with Israel. October 2nd, November 1st. Includes luxury accommodations, delicious meals, and safe transportation.
Look forward to something special this year. Stand With Israel. For details about this all-inclusive trip happening this fall, visit 660amtheanswer.com.
Did you know that every dollar you invest in real estate makes you money 5 ways? Cash flow, money in your pocket each month. Equity capture, the thousands of dollars you create when you have the right team and buy the right property using the right map. Appreciation, real estate can increase in value over time. Equity buildup, renters pay down your mortgage each month. And finally, the tax advantage. When done correctly, real estate investors pay no taxes on our cash flow and capital gains. At Lifestyles Unlimited, these are the 5 ways we make money in real estate, which is why real estate accounts for more millionaires in the world today than any other investment vehicle. You should have some real estate in your portfolio. To learn how to attend a Lifestyles Unlimited free workshop, call 866-971-8970 or go to lifestylesunlimitedDallas.com and register for the next available workshop. That's 866-971-8970 or go to lifestylesunlimitedDallas.com.
Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100 plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any city or industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. No juggling emails or calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 400,000 businesses. And right now, listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/America. That's ZipRecruiter.com/America. One more time. To try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/America.
Dennis Prager here, and for 2 years now, I've been telling you about my wife, Sue, who tried Relief Factor because of her knee pain, and it worked. This is before I ever even heard about the product. I never endorsed the pain reliever, but now I am. And yes, now I'm taking Relief Factor too. Maybe you've heard me call it a miracle. In fact, listen to what Amanda from Texas wrote. I was having pain in my left thumb area and left side of my leg from my knee about 4 inches up. After about a week of taking Relief Factor, the pain in my leg has gone away. And a few days later, the pain in my left hand is gone. We've gotten thousands of these testimonials, and if you're struggling with ongoing back or neck pain, shoulder, hip, or knee pain, or general muscle aches and pain, do what my wife Sue did. Try Relief Factor. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call them toll-free 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384.
Message and data rates may apply. It's exciting. You're thinking about going back to school, completing your degree, and advancing your future. But right now, you have more questions than answers. Like, how fast can I complete my degree? Can I transfer my credits? Can I make this work with my job and family? How much will it cost? all smart questions. The key to answering them can be found with your smartphone. We're Southern New Hampshire University. Send us a text and we'll bring the answers. Learn about SNHU plus the top 3 financial aid mistakes and how to avoid them by texting CREDIT to 554433. You'll also learn about our exciting, affordable, high-quality online programs, about our tradition and reputation for success since 1932. And we'd love to tell you how we provide all the individual flexibility, support, and encouragement needed to maximize your success. Southern New Hampshire University. Online, on campus. See yourself succeed. Learn about SNHU plus the top 3 financial aid mistakes and how to avoid them by texting CREDIT to 554433. Text CREDIT to 554433.
660 AM. The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Telephone number 866-660-5759. Neville. So anyway, you were saying that she didn't have any business looking at that stuff. She did. And if the guys, say, for example, the CIA director, let's say Bremer, okay, if he wanted to see what the context was, he could request that unmasking too. So could Susan Rice. The question is, how many times did she request that unmasking? And how many times that she did request that unmasking, did the circumstances line up so that she was dealing with a Trump operative? I'm betting that most of the time she was asking for the identities of Trump operatives to be unmasked, which means that there's a pattern, which means that she's probably doing this for political purposes, which is a felony. But that's something
anybody can figure that part out.
But that's something for the court case. You see, and the trick is let's keep trying to push off the court case as much as we possibly can and see if Donald Trump chickens out on naming a special prosecutor. Go chase that.
You know, the CIA director asking for that information makes all the sense in the world. Her asking for specifically or almost exclusively operatives of the Trump campaign, that just stinks to high heaven.
Well, it does.
I'm willing to make a bet here, John David.
Yeah.
I have a better chance of having a date with Shania Twain tomorrow than we do of ever seeing those papers. They're going to say they lost them. They don't know where they are. You watch. That's how it'll go down.
No, that's probably not how it's going to go down because too many people are involved and too many people are vulnerable. Once again, it depends on how hard-nosed the AG is. If Sessions wants these papers, he'll get them because we know they exist, and you just can't disappear them like that.
I sure hope so. Hey, great show. Thank you.
Wait. There was another thing that you wanted to say. You said there were 2 things.
The second one was that we're never going to see the paperwork.
Oh,
so we addressed that.
All right, my friend. Thanks very much for your time. I appreciate your contribution tonight. John in Grapevine, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
I want to thank you for taking my call. I'm in the parade with Neville. I'm still waiting to see Lois Lerner get a indictment and have to stand trial for her misbehavior. I have followed this story throughout the day on Google and Facebook, but I have not seen nor heard any acceptable explanation as to why this is not obstruction of justice.
Well, of course it's obstruction of justice. It's certainly much more viable an obstruction of justice complaint than one incidental conversation between 2 guys in private. I mean, we actually know that the documents left the White House and went to the Obama Presidential Library because there is testimony to that fact. That means they exist, and that means that there's a possible freeze for 5 years. That will not stand.
I hope that you're right, John David. If the roles were reversed and this were a Republican president that had pulled this stunt, I will guarantee you that there would be subpoenas flying around in Washington tonight.
Oh, of course. There'd be no doubt about it, John. There'd be no doubt about it. But at some point, you can't defy gravity forever. And these people, there are an awful lot of people here that are trying to finish up the Obama administration by getting away with yet something else. And I think this is a bridge too far. They spied on American journalists. The Associated Press and James Rosen. They followed these people all over town based on the telemetry from their cell phones. This is a monstrous abuse of the Fourth Amendment. And somebody needs to chase it down, not for the sake of trying to damage President Obama or Susan Rice for that matter, but because somebody's got to stand up for an overarching, oppressive, tyrannical government that refuses to follow its own rules. This is the Wells Report.
The Dennis Prager Show. The Dennis Prager Show.
If a fanatical Trump supporter had tried to murder as many Democratic congressmen as possible, you think Nancy Pelosi would get up there and call for unity? I don't. I think she would have gotten up there and said, this is the hate unleashed by this president.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hello, Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor here. I got a little show on the weekends, Sunday morning, and it's about natural organic gardening. We talk about landscaping and pest control. We talk about tree care. We talk about specific pest control on some things where other people say there are no solutions. Things like oak wilt, rose rosette, crepe myrtle bark scale, and fungal canker on Italian cypress. Join me every Sunday morning, 8 to 11, right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Attention contact lens wearers. Hey, it's Mark Davis, my friends at Climate Evangelist Eye Center. Why are you doing the contact lens thing? Because it's better in glasses? Well, it could be. Well, here's something better in glasses and contacts. LASIK procedures from Climate Evangelist Eye Center. Ditch the glasses and the contacts and be free to see right in time for summer. BeFreeToSee.com. Check it out. Huge promotion. Big savings on LASIK as low as $3 a day. What's that? A cup of coffee? And they're going to throw in a free adventure as part of your Be Free to See summer LASIK package. Water park, zoo, laser tag, trampoline park. Pick it. You're going to love it. You're going to love your summer. You're going to love the rest of your life with Climate Evangelist Eye Center. 1-800-714-2020. 1-800-714-2020. Incredible team, great technology, great people. Have a great summer and a great rest of your life. Ditch the glasses and the contacts. 1-800-714-2020. 1-800-714-2020 or BeFreeToSee.com. BeFreeToSee.com.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Manzeri, co-owner of Statewide Remodeling. I keep talking about high-tech bath remodeling, and the phone keeps ringing with homeowners wanting more information. 90% of all bath remodelers use sand grout. It's sand, cement, and water. We know it's the first thing that fails in the wet area of your bathroom. It cracks with the least bit of movement. It grows mold and mildew, and when you try to clean it, you're just wearing it down. Statewide uses a proprietary product that has 4 main ingredients: Microban, which eliminates mold and mildew; latex for flexibility; Kevlar for strength; and a built-in sealant. We guarantee our grout for as long as you own your home. So when you think you're getting a great deal from the 2 guys in a truck you hired to do your remodel, I suggest you start saving up for when you'll have to do it again. Or you can call Statewide Remodeling and get it done right the first time. We offer 100% financing, and if you call for your free design consultation now, celebrate our 23rd year in business, we're giving 23% off the price of the project. The number to call is 888-270-7095. That's 888-270-7095 or anytime online at statewideremodeling.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. In the last 2 months, we've saved our customers over $500,000. How'd we do it? With our exclusive partnership with your utility provider, we get to offer instant rebates of up to $1,500 when you replace that worn-out AC system. When you combine that with Carrier's Cool Cash savings of up to $3,500, we're talking saving over $5,000 on a brand new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. Now that's how you save people money without gimmicks. But you'll have to hurry because the utility funds can run out at any time. So we're scheduling our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. So call 2 other companies first, get their price, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Call 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Warning. If you've recently declared bankruptcy, you're going to want to cover your ears.
because there's an alternative to bankruptcy, and it could be better than you'd ever think possible. But if you've already declared bankruptcy and have missed this opportunity, you'll want to cover your ears now. Here it is. Right now, the company that has resolved more credit card debt than anyone in the U.S. may be able to settle your debt too. You can resolve your debt with one low monthly program payment. If you call right now and qualify, Freedom Debt Relief will show you how low your monthly program payment could be for free. Call now, 1-800-600-7115. That's 1-800-600-7115. If you're struggling with debt, this could be your answer. And the bigger your debt, the more money you could save. To find out for free how much of your hard-earned money Freedom Debt Relief could help you save, call now, 1-800-600-7115. 1-800-600-7115. 1-800-600-7115.
660 AM, The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. I want to thank you very much for being a part of this radio broadcast. How are we going to give away this book? Do we know? Okay, all right. We're giving away a copy of the book, Dr. Meg Meeker's book, Hero, Being the Strong Father Your Children Need. I'm showing it on the television show right this minute. By the way, in case you don't know, we have an almost daily broadcast of the Wells Report on YouTube live events. I can't get that to stand up there. Anyway, that's the book. So we have an almost daily broadcast on YouTube live events. You can go to the Wells Report and you can see what we're doing inside the studio and so on and so forth. So Hero, Being the Strong Father That Your Children Need. Written by Dr. Meg Meeker. Brilliant book, brilliant person. We really like Dr. Meeker. You can win this for free. All you got to do is go to 660 AM The Answer right this minute. If you're a Wells Report listener, let us give you a book. It's the Wells Report Book of the Month Club. And we're going to be giving these books away. We get lots of them, and we want you to have one, okay? So click on the Regnery banner on the homepage of 660amtheanswer.com. It's right there. It's kind of in red. You can't miss it. Just click on that, make a registration, give us your email, and what we'll do is we'll set you up so that you can win this book, okay? We'll figure out some really cool way of doing it. All right. Like I was saying a minute ago, you cannot defy gravity forever. There's a big difference between ending up in jail and being in serious trouble. The State Department has opened a formal inquiry into whether former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and her aides mishandled classified information while she was the nation's top diplomat, the Secretary of State. Despite being under investigation, Clinton and her staffers still have security clearances to access sensitive government information. Now, they do and they don't. You still have to have a need to know. And if you're Hillary Clinton, former Secretary of State, you don't have the same access as the current Secretary of State. You just don't. But then again, not many people, I mean, it's, it depends. The department's investigation aims to determine whether Clinton and her closest aides violated government protocols by using her private server to receive, hold, and transmit classified and top-secret government documents. The government or the department declined to say whether or when its inquiry began, but it does follow the conclusion of the FBI's probe into the matter, which did not result in any actions being taken against Clinton or any of her aides. Well, that's because they were on different missions. The FBI was looking at this from a criminal point of view. The State Department is looking at this from an administrative point of view. You and I can argue with James Comey and anybody else until the sky turns brown that Hillary Clinton was guilty of violating the Espionage Act and the National Official Secrets Act and any manner of law. She's guilty of about 16 of them, open and shut cases, every single one of them. We can argue about that ad infinitum. But this is going to be handled by an inspector general whose job it is to find fact. He doesn't have to prove it to a jury. He just finds fact. Or she. These are open and shut cases. Hillary Clinton's going to lose her security clearances. All of them. And the same thing's going to happen with everybody that she worked with that had anything to do with this server. And again, if President Trump deems it necessary, or if Attorney General Jeff Sessions deems it necessary, I would suggest that there needs to be some special prosecutors named immediately to chase these stories. And they need to be really independent. What I'm talking about is I'm talking about really independent. Okay? I'm talking about hiring professionals that really can do the job because they're looking for truth, not looking for political brownie points. Because we need to get to the bottom of all this. Because right now in America, we have two legal systems. We have one legal system for the power elite. They have to follow some laws. They don't have to follow other laws. We have to follow all the laws. Those of us who are the unwashed, those of us who are the proletariat, those of us, the citizens of the United States, have to follow one set of law. But the power elite gets to visit and gets to conform and comport to a different set of laws. A dual legal system is a system that is divided against itself and cannot stand. Everybody, and the thing about this that drives me crazy is that the left in this nation is all about equality. Everybody's got to play by the exact same rules, everybody except for our power elite, in which case, it's just sex, or no, he didn't actually lie, even though he actually lied, or no, it's just a convenience. It's not an opportunity to sell intelligence out the back door for money that went to the Clinton Foundation or the Clinton Global Initiative. These are the things that we have to find out. These are the things that we're going to find out unless we continually do what we have done in the past, which is cut the left way too much slack. The arrogance that they show in all of this is proof that they've gotten away with it just a few too many times. Don't you think? By the way, the Senate Intelligence Committee is also going down that track. They've launched their own inquiry into Clinton's handling of emails, and perhaps this is the way that President Trump is going to handle this. Maybe what they'll do is they'll take the House Intelligence Committee and the Senate Intelligence Committee. They'll take the information that's derived by all of that. And maybe what they'll do is they'll turn that over to the Attorney General to put in front of a grand jury. That's the way this has to go. You can do anything you want to. You can name a special prosecutor, but all the information that you glean has got to be put in front of a grand jury and let them decide. That's how the system works. And if they say that Hillary Clinton doesn't need to be charged with any of this, you'll never hear me talk about it again. Senator Grassley's Senate Intelligence Committee launched its own inquiry into Clinton's handling of emails, an inquiry that began in March. Grassley cited among his concerns in a July 5th statement of former FBI Director James Comey. The agency found Clinton and her staff members were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information. Grassley also contended that there is evidence of potential violations of the statutes regarding the handling of classified information. There is. It's obvious. During the FBI investigation of Clinton's use of top secret and classified information on her private server, Comey said there were 7 email chains on Clinton's computer that were classified at the top secret special access program level. Another 2,000 emails on her private server were found to have contained information deemed classified. In addition, the server also contained 22 top secret emails deemed too damaging to national security to be released. Clinton's spokesperson, Nick Merrill, told Fox News the investigation into Clinton's mishandling of classified information is done. Nothing's been more thoroughly dissected. It's over, case closed, literally. No. Chris Farrell of Judicial Watch, a conservative Washington-based government watchdog that we've talked about moments ago, has filed a number of lawsuits related to the Clinton email scandal. She believes that Clinton and her circle of national security criminals should not have access to any classified information for any reason. Their conduct has cost them the privileged position of special trust and confidence. Well, okay, Chris. That's a little dramatic, don't you think? Any other government employee would have been prosecuted under 18 U.S. Code Section 793F, mishandling national defense information, and be subject to a long prison sentence and large fines. True. By the way, Section F is the section that does not require intent. It just requires negligent handling, which, by the way, is which is defined as extremely careless. Well, I'll tell you what. Comey laid it all out there, man. The case is closed. Yeah, it is closed. It's only closed because, well, they want it to be closed. They wish it's closed. They want this to just walk away. Done, finished, over with. Inevitability. Just ignore all. Nothing to see here. Move on, move on. Well, unfortunately, that's not going to stick. The flagrant double standard for the gang that exposed top secret code word information to the Russians, Chinese, and others is both offensive and deeply corrosive to the intelligence community, said Farrell. There's no better evidence that when it comes to Hillary Clinton and her coterie, laws are for the little people. I don't like his language here, but essentially he's correct. Laws are for the little people. But I will tell you something, Chris Farrell of Judicial Watch. If all of this is true, and I believe it is, inflammatory language does not make it any closer to reality. All it does is add insult to injury. I believe it in my heart that Hillary Clinton is guilty of these specifications. But I'm not looking forward to it as vindication of anything. I'm not looking forward to it at all. If indeed she is indicted for her unbelievable misconduct when it comes to classified information, which is demonstrated and obvious, if she is officially indicted and tried and found guilty and sentenced to jail, that will be an epic tragedy for this entire country. There are a lot of people that hate the Clintons. I get it. I understand. But I will tell you that this level of misconduct on the part of this family was emboldened and empowered by people who let them off the hook for smaller things decades ago. And yeah, some of those people are the same people. I get it. But make no mistake. If Hillary Clinton ends up in an orange jumpsuit, it's not going to be party day. It's going to be necessary for the sake of the republic and the sake of the people who live in it. But it's not. It's not going to be cause for celebration. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. Stick around. We'll finish it up for Tuesday night in just a couple of moments. Again, my thanks for you listening to the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Simple Sleep Services. If snoring is a problem in your life, and if it's a problem in your life, it's a problem for everybody in your life. Let's get the simplest, least invasive solution. That's what they did for me at Simple Sleep Services. What you have with Simple Sleep is a way to avoid implants and surgery and the CPAP device by just calling 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. They're in Dallas and Fort Worth. Insurance covers most folks. It's the Somnodent device. Simple appliance. They make it for you. They did one for me. You take it home, you pop it in, kiss your wife goodnight, and silent night. Absolutely fantastic. Diagnosis. Board-certified sleep physician. They have a home sleep study, so you're not in some lab. Call them for more information. 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. SimpleSleepServices.com. Wonderful people. I'm so glad I met them, and you will be too. 469-685-1700 or SimpleSleepServices.com.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business. So make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-500-0898. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away. So you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-500-0898. That's 1-800-500-0898. 1-800-500-0898.
Do you know what a RIA is? It's a real estate investor association, and it's where smart people go to obtain wholesale houses, obtain no money, no credit financing, meet local buyers, sellers, and investing partners, and receive local market intelligence and training. Don't buy houses retail. That's ridiculous. And please don't waste your time and money going to a get-rich-quick seminar from a traveling pitchman. Come network with local Dallas area real estate investors that are just getting started or taking it to the next level. Come join the largest real estate investor network in Texas. We meet on Tuesday, June 27th at 6 p.m. at the Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine, and you can register to attend for free by calling 800-717-3320. This month's topic is how to buy houses without using banks. Call 800-717-3320. Write it down. That's 800-717-3320 to attend any of our upcoming meetings and receive a valuable Texas real estate training program for free. Brought to you by the Dallas Real Estate Investment Association.
If you're a business owner, I want you to imagine standing home plate in front of a sold-out crowd of 50,000 raving fans at a professional baseball game. They give you the microphone and you have 60 seconds to tell the crowd why they should do business with you. Out of 50,000 people, do you think you might get some new customers? Sure you would. Now imagine you could do that in front of 4 sold-out baseball games. That's 200,000 people. Did you know that's how many people listen to 660 AM The Answer every week? And you have the opportunity to stand in front of the 660 AM The Answer microphone and get 60 seconds to tell our raving fans all about your business. Do you think you'd get new customers if you did that? You bet. The businesses you hear on 660 AM The Answer are knocking it out of the park with new customers. If you are open to seeing how much it costs to advertise your business on 660 AM The Answer, send an email request to advertise@ksky.com. That's advertise@ksky.com. Let's play ball.
660 AM The Answer. 660amtheanswer.com. The Wells Report with John David Wells. Must hear radio on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. I remember when former President George W. Bush left the presidency. He said that he felt that history would be would be much more kind to his presidency than the media had been. And you know that might be the case. He is growing in popularity since leaving the White House, even among Democrats. The percentage of Americans who say they have a favorable view of the 43rd president has risen 7 points over the last year. This according to a new Gallup survey. Bush's favorability rating now stands at 59%. Almost catching President Obama, who is viewed favorably by 63% of those surveyed. While Bush's favorability remains unchanged among young adults at 42%, he's seen a significant bump among Democrats and independent voters. Democrats have a 41% favorable view of Bush compared to 33% 1 year ago. Interesting. His favorability among non-white voters also rose from 39% in 2016 to 47% in the most recent survey. Well, there you go. So President Bush getting better as time goes by. I like that. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Stifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is John David Wells. Thank you very much for listening to this edition of the Wells Report. We'll see you again tomorrow.
We all know life can get crazy and you're not always near a radio. But one thing is for sure, your phone goes everywhere with you. And now we can too. Download the 660 AM The Answer app to your phone and listen live wherever you go. If you miss any of the Mark Davis Show or the Wells Report, you can catch up whenever, wherever. Plus, dial the 660 AM The Answer studio directly from the app. And it's free. We make it easy to stay connected. Download our app now. 660 AM The Answer.
The hardest part of a home improvement project is finding the motivation to get started. Lucky for you, SelectBlinds.com makes ordering blinds online simple and easy, all from the comfort of your home. No need for costly estimates or pushy salesmen. SelectBlinds.com gives you the freedom and selection to tackle your blind needs. With products you've seen on all your favorite home improvement shows, SelectBlinds.com is your go-to for guaranteed quality. Select Blinds takes the guesswork out of ordering blinds online. Their specialists will walk you through how to measure, choose, and install your new window coverings. Select Blinds has the most online reviews and 5-star ratings on the planet. That's customer service done right. SelectBlinds.com really is the simple and smart way to get blinds. To get the best deals on high-quality blinds, shades, and shutters, shop today at SelectBlinds.com. Remember to mention this show at checkout using the drop-down menu. Let SelectBlinds.com transform your home. SelectBlinds.com.
Hi, this is John Taffer from Bar Rescue. I've seen firsthand what restaurant owners can do with the capital to manage cash flow gaps. Cabbage is so important. Cabbage provides lines of credit of up to $150,000. Apply online and get a decision right away. Withdraw funds without reapplying. I signed up and had a decision in minutes. Cabbage has helped over 100,000 small businesses from every industry. Get started at cabbage.com/owner or 855-CABBAGE. That's cabbage with a K.
Line of credit is subject to credit approval. See terms and conditions.
You're unique, so why is your mattress one size fits all? Because a custom mattress costs thousands until now. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, where you can buy a mattress online, customized for you for hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. Go to HelixSleep.com, answer a few simple questions, and we build you the most comfortable mattress you'll ever sleep on. Shipping is free, and you have 100 nights to try it out. Go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio and get $50 off your order. HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Baltimore Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Democrat and political newcomer John Ossoff conceding defeat to Republican Karen Handel in Tuesday's special election for a vacant congressional seat in Georgia.
I commended her on a hard-fought race and on her victory this evening.
Handel thanking supporters.
Thank you for believing in me.
That hard-fought battle becomes the most expensive House race in the nation's history. A terrorist killed by authorities in Belgium Tuesday as he attempted to detonate an explosive in one of the city's train stations.
Details are still emerging, but what it appears happened is that these soldiers approached a man who looked suspicious to them. He had a suitcase and an explosives belt, and as they approached, he detonated that bag and ran. Police then shot him.
Fox's Amy Kellogg. Fox News. We report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Debbie Georgiadis. Every week on America Can We talk truth about preserving America, the most important political idea on earth. And you can be part of the conversation by leaving your question or comment on the America Can We Talk 24-hour studio line, 214-556-5659. Tune into America Can We Talk every Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer, live on the America Can We Talk Facebook page or online at americacanwetalk.org.
Tune in Sundays at noon for the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. Join us each Sunday when we discuss the principles and practices of the successful real estate investor. We bring you experts to answer your questions on how to use real estate to build wealth and passive realized monthly income, and teach you the ins and outs of investing in real estate. So tune in Sundays at noon, right here for the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show.
Join us for the Real Investor Radio Show right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
At any time in Texas, it can feel like the change of the seasons. But I'll tell you what, as we work our way into springtime, Abacus Foundation has been serving North Texas with the highest quality foundation repair solutions for 17 years. And with a warmer temperature and additional moisture, oh my, the foundations can be rocking and rolling. So if you got cracks in the sheetrock or doors that are sticking, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. These are the people I call. These are the folks who have been to my house. These are the folks who will not give you a foundation job you don't need, but will tell you exactly what's going on. Now, if you do need a new foundation, you got the Millennium Composite Pilings, the strongest, and folks at Abacus are the only folks offering it. And get this, $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. AbacusFoundationRepair.com. Lifetime warranty, transferable, 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or AbacusFoundationRepair.com.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Vines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck, and I use the most advanced spinal decompression system available, the DRX 9000, to correct back problems just like yours. We don't use addictive drugs, and we don't use any type type of dangerous invasive surgery for these problems. Spinal decompression is safe, FDA cleared, and it's not painful, and has about an 86% success rate. We accept most insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. You will sit down and visit with me personally until I've answered all of your questions. And if you're a candidate for decompression, you can try out the treatment all at no charge to you. So if you're ready to not hurt anymore and don't want to have surgery, call me at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922 or online at mylowback.com.
This is Michael Medved for townhall.com. For 60 years, Gallup has asked about public attitudes toward faith, giving respondents a clear choice with a question: do you believe that religion can answer all or most of today's problems, or that religion is largely old-fashioned and out of date? In 1957, 82% expressed confidence in religious solutions, while only 11% considered faith old-fashioned. Today, the margin is much closer, but Americans still think religion has the answers, 55% to 34%. Among those who say they seldom or never go to church, a full third still think that religion can solve contemporary problems. And among Democrats, a plurality agrees that faith has the answers all people seek. Even among those who consider themselves political liberals and those who never participate in public worship, there's still a lingering suspicion that faith-based solutions benefit individuals and society. Believers should never write off America as a secularized, godless, lost cause. I'm Michael Medved.
Good morning, Jane. Wow, you're glowing. You must have had a good night.
I had a great night. I slept with Somnipure.
Oh, is that the French guy in sales?
No, Somnipure is a non-prescription sleep aid. Remember how I couldn't sleep? I'd lay awake with my mind racing. Well, I heard an ad on the radio to try a free bottle of Somnipure, and my sleep has been amazing ever since.
Jane, you're sleeping with Somnipure? I'm also sleeping with Somnipure.
Me too. I'm sleeping with Somnipure every night.
I slept with Somnipure all night long.
Somnipure is a best-selling sleep aid at Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens. But for the small price of shipping and handling, you can have a free bottle shipped to your door. But hurry, supplies are limited. For details, call 1-800-937-9195. 1-800-937-9195. If you're not sleeping with Somnipure, you're not sleeping. Call 1-800-937-9195. 1-800-937-9195.
660 AM. The Answer.
And now, America's #1 show on pop culture and politics. This is the Michael Medved Show.
And another great day in this greatest nation on God's green earth, a great day to celebrate a great right, the right to freedom of expression. An outstanding Supreme Court decision in that regard that is going to be greatly dispiriting for a lot of liberal fans of political correctness. There is also a question of what freedom of speech constitutes. Does it mean doing, for instance, a tasteless job of presenting a Shakespeare play without getting disrupted? We will talk about that regarding Julius Caesar, which basically has been described as a production. It's now closed, by the way, but it was described as a production that was supposed to advocate the assassination of President Trump. I think that's going a little bit far, but we will discuss that. We'll also talk, of course, about the big news of the day. This is Election Day in South Carolina. It's Election Day in Georgia. In two crucial congressional districts, the Democrats are hoping to flip from Republican to Democratic. They are using this as evidence that the Republican Party is in trouble. These are supposed to be safe Republican seats. Why are there close races going on here? Is it an indication that the Republican Party is in trouble? No, I actually think that this is an indication of the desperation and the trouble that the Democrats are facing. And it certainly will be if they go 4 out of 4. I mean, 3 strikes and you're out. How about 4 strikes if the Democrats whiff at all 4 of these races that they are contesting? What will that mean and what will that signify? 1-800-955-1776. A little bit later in the show, we'll be speaking with Stephen Moore, the leading economic thinker, about why the goal that President Trump has set of 3% growth isn't just realistic. He thinks it is. He thinks we could even do better than that. How? We'll speak about that with Stephen Moore, and we'll also be speaking with an activist dad who wants to have a government ban on smartphones for kids below the age of 13. 1 800 955 1776 is our phone number. First up, this question about the elections today and what do they mean? These are not the first special elections of 2017. They won't be the last elections of 2017. There are more elections coming up for Jason Chaffetz's seat in Utah. He's leaving Congress. There's an election coming up in California. There's an election coming up in Texas. But the two elections today, this will make 4 special elections, where the previous 2, one in Montana. By the way, there is, concerning that election in Montana, I've praised the new congressman, Republican Greg Gianforte, and because I think he handled the situation of him assaulting a reporter very well. But I don't think that the fact that he assaulted the supporter makes Congressman Gianforte Christ-like, though there is a conservative commentator who thinks it does. We will get to that discussion later in the program. But the point being that Greg Gianforte in Montana won that congressional seat. Was it closer than the race had been 2 years before or a year before? Yeah, it was closer because there wasn't an incumbent congressman and there wasn't a presidential candidate on the ballot. There usually is lower turnout, obviously, with special elections where you don't have a whole ballot with a presidential race drawing people to come and participate in the election. And but Greg Gianforte won fairly easily. And for Mike Pompeo's seat in Kansas, that was also one where the Democrats were saying we're going to pull an upset. They lost. Now, if they lose today in Georgia and they lose today in South Carolina, and they almost surely will lose in South Carolina, and I think they will probably lose in Georgia and deserve to lose in both places. What will that say about the Democratic Party? 1 800 955 1776. One of the things that you're hearing in mainstream media, and you hear it again and again and again and again, and honest to goodness, it's one of the reasons that talk radio is so important, because you do need a corrective. And the line here that needs correction is the line that says that, for instance, the reason that this race is going to be close in Georgia is despite the fact that Tom Price, the previous congressman, won the seat by 23 points, even if the Republican in this race, Karen Handel, and I very much hope she wins, and I hope anyone listening to us in the Atlanta area, in the area of Marietta, Georgia, where this congressional seat is, I hope you'll go out and vote for Karen Handel. And be sure you vote for her because it's important. The message here that the left is trying to spin out of this election is that this is the only one of the most educated 15 congressional districts in the country that Trump actually carried. Most of the most educated, wealthy districts, often they're districts that have a big university in them, like the district around Stanford University in Palo Alto, California. That's one of them. If you look at these educated districts, they're the only 15 districts where more than half of the total population has a 4-year college degree. And this district in Georgia is one of them. And they're saying that John Ossoff, the 31-year-old who's never been elected to anything, never really achieved much in the way of business. He's been a congressional aide. But John Ossoff, who is the Democratic candidate, they're hoping he will win because he will appeal to educated people who voted for Tom Price for Congress for re-election. Dr. Price, now our Secretary of Health and Human Services, but are not likely to vote for Karen Handel, who is a different kind of more of a woman of the people candidate than Mitt Romney, who did very well in the district, or than Tom Price, who always did very well. He always got more than 60% of the vote. Mitt Romney got 62% of the vote. So why is it closer this time? According to Nate Cohn, pardon me, who writes in the Upshot, and all the Nates write about statistical analysis in election. But Nate Ed Cohen writes in the Upshot at the New York Times that the 15 best educated congressional districts are all tilting heavily toward Democrats because educated people don't vote for Trump. And it seems to me that this follows up on the media narrative that everybody's heard 1,000 times, which is people who support Donald Trump are all deplorables. They're ignorant, they're bigoted, they're poor, they're struggling, they're downtrodden, they're pathetic. Okay, this is not true if you look at the exit polls, which apparently nobody on the left has bothered to do. They're easily available, and they actually tell you something about the way that people actually voted last time. And they actually tell you something very revealing, and it's one of the reasons that I believe that Karen Handel will win today, which is among white college-educated voters. First of all, there are more white voters with four-year college degrees than there are white voters without four-year college degrees. Isn't that amazing? The majority of white voters have a four-year college degree or more, a law degree or a medical degree or a PhD or a master's degree or a master's of business or something else. In any event, 37% of all voters in America were white people with college degrees. 34% were white people without college degrees. White people with college degrees, 30% of the electorate, Trump won. He got more votes than Hillary. This notion that educated people won't vote for Trump is just nonsense. And it's wrong. And it also goes to one of the other things that people put forward in terms of trying to analyze the election. They always say that, well, look, Trump won based upon his appeal to poor people. Can we agree that if you earn more than $50,000 a year, you're not poor? You're middle class if you earn more than $50,000 a year. So what about all those voters who earned below $50,000 a year? Who won those voters? Trump? No, Hillary won that group. Trump actually won, and won pretty big time, among the 34% of Americans who earn more than $100,000 a year. He also did better than Hillary among everybody who earned more than $50,000 a year. Look, this is not fair and not true. The idea, the attempt to lump all Trump voters as losers, angry people with gripes who are downtrodden and insulted, it seems to me that it's misguided, and it's one of the reasons that Democrats are floundering so badly. One of the other reasons, the embrace of political correctness. The Supreme Court delivered a body blow in a unanimous vote. Everybody voted the right way. It delivered a body blow to political correctness. We'll tell you about it coming up on the Medved Show.
I'm a trader, so I spend hours and hours every day sitting in my chair staring at my computer. And the reality is, by the end of the day, I'm pretty much shot. I mean, my back is killing me. My energy is gone. It's hard for me to concentrate. But then I got this X chair, and the difference has been nothing short of amazing. At the end of the day now, instead of feeling, spent, I've got energy. I can still be concentrating. I mean, seriously, I look forward to coming into my office now thanks to my X chair. The X chair is really, really cool to look at, and everybody in my office wants one. They all want to trade in their old chairs for this. I never thought a chair would have made that kind of a difference in terms of just how you feel. But now that I've used the X chair, honest to goodness, I will never go back.
With 21st Century Design, the X chair is now available for an incredible $100 off. Order today using the code TALK to receive a free footrest. That's $100 off plus a free footrest. Just use code TALK at checkout. Feel better and get more done. Go to tryxchair.com now. That's chair.com. Or call us toll free at 844-4X-CHAIR. Tryxchair.com now. Or call 844-4X-CHAIR.
Senator David Perdue says a 20% tax on all imports would hammer consumers and shut down economic growth. The tax to which he's referring is known as the border adjustment tax. Senator Tom Cotton has been quoted as saying a tax on imports is a tax on things working folk buy every single day. And I'm not talking about caviar and champagne. I'm talking about T-shirts, jeans, shoes, baby clothes, toys, grocery. As Congress explores tax reform that could be good for America and would have a positive impact on America's growth and job creation, the border adjustment tax is one element of this reform that would potentially wipe out many positive elements of overall tax reform. If you haven't done so, please go to smarttaxpolicy.com and learn more about the border adjustment tax and its impact on the cost of goods we all use every day. At smarttaxpolicy.com, they have a form where you can quickly, easily send a letter to your congressman opposing this misguided tax. Many say the border adjustment tax is dead on arrival in the Senate, but some members of Congress are still pushing to increase your taxes. Go to smarttaxpolicy.com today. That's smarttaxpolicy.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friend Josh DeShong. Let's make this the summer where Josh sells your home as quickly as he sold ours. I love this guy. You get the Josh DeShong promise. He comes, sits down with you, you talk price and time frame. You reach an agreement on a price you'd love and a time frame you can handle. And if he can't sell that house of yours at that price in that time frame, he buys it. He promises if he can't sell it, he buys it. So get going. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644 or getsold.net. Now, not only will he do that on the market, but there's an instant buyout program right now. They can give you an offer today without even listing the home. Best part is in a lot of areas throughout North Texas, you're getting full market value without even listing the home, not worrying about showings and stuff. So if you're really ready to move fast, go for the instant buyout program. 972-325-6644. Ask about it at 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. In the last 2 months, we've saved our customers over $500,000. How'd we do it? With our exclusive partnership with your utility provider, we get to offer instant rebates of up to $1,500 when you replace that worn-out AC system. When you combine that with Carrier's Cool Cash savings of up to $3,500, we're talking saving over $5,000 on a brand new AC system that can cut your electric bill in half. Now that's how you save people money without gimmicks. But you'll have to hurry because the utility funds can run out at any time. So we're scheduling our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. So call 2 other companies first, get their price, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Call 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer.
"21 minutes after the hour on the Michael Medved Show, where you can benefit enormously from My Pillow. Because it's such a great product and you can get it so inexpensively. How? By using the promo code MEDVED at mypillow.com. Even though Father's Day is over, it's still a great way to treat yourself or treat anybody that you know. And you can do that by calling My Pillow at 1-800-320-8260. That's 1-800-820 320-8260. And or you can just go to mypillow.com, but use the promo code MEDVED for 50% off or for free shipping. You actually get both. mypillow.com. All right, talking about political correctness and a body blow to political correctness, because one of the reasons that there has been a strong support for President Trump, I think one of the reasons he won the primary was because he won the nomination of the Republican Party was because of his clear assault on political correctness. His entire existence is an assault on political correctness. And some people believe on sanity and decency. But okay, he's Trump. He's going to be president for 3.5 years. Get used to it. I hope that President Trump continues to do better. Look, it's there hasn't been a particular outrage, has there, in the last 48 hours? That's a good thing, right? That's positive. But there was an outrage from some of Trump's supporters. And that was the attempt over the weekend to basically shut down the last performances of Julius Caesar at Delacorte Park in New York. I mean, how stupid. I agree with conservatives and with liberals of conscience everywhere that the attempt to shut down free speech, to impose political correctness on people who speak at college campuses or people who want to do dramatic presentations or people who are expressing themselves in the private sector, that attempt to shut people down is despicable. And yes, I think it is appropriate for people who are heckling President Trump when he speaks not to be beaten up by the crowd, but to be hauled away by the cops. You're not achieving anything. I mean, does any heckler make his case look good, you think? I mean, think about it. So they're performing this production of Julius Caesar. And yes, it's very controversial because they show Julius Caesar dressed up like Donald Trump, sort of a heavy guy with the Trumpian hair, and he has a Slavic accented wife playing Calpurnia in the play. But the one thing about this play is, yes, in Act 3, Caesar is stabbed to death, but that's not seen as a good thing. Basically, the entire play is an indictment of those self-righteous senators who thought they were called upon to kill Caesar. And they all end up dead, some of them killing themselves. And people who may have remembered reading this play in high school or sometimes in middle school, you understand that's part of what the play is about. And it's unbelievably foolish for people on the right to say, oh, this play is disrespectful for Trump, so we won't let them close their production. It's ridiculous. But also ridiculous has been all of this ongoing battle to try to shut down the Washington Redskins, right? It's a football team. And yes, we will say the term Redskins on this program. And I think that the Supreme Court decision yesterday, and it was an 8-0 decision. It's amazing when you have a Sam Alito and Clarence Thomas and John Roberts and strong conservatives on the court voting together with Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Stephen Breyer and Elena Kagan. It's a very, very good thing. And Sonia Sotomayor, everybody voted. Neil Gorsuch didn't vote because this was adjudicated. It was decided, this case, before Gorsuch was confirmed and came onto the court. But I'm sure he would have voted with this unanimous decision. And here's what the issue was. There's a rock group called the Slants, right? It's a Chinese American rock group. They're making fun of the idea that one of the insulting terms that has been used for people of Asian background is slants. And okay, do I think that's tasteful and a good idea? No. I also don't think that it would be good to do a klezmer group, a Jewish group called the Kikes. It would not be a nice thing to do. And I don't think you should. Nor should you do a hip hop group called N-Words with Attitude. Oh, well, they did that, didn't they? It's NWA. That's what it is. It's N-Words with Attitude. But you know what? You have a right to do it. And that's what the court found here. Here's what the case involved. The case involved whether it was constitutional for Congress to say, as Congress said, 7